I'm still under the firm belief that he has never ever played Elden Ring.
I'm kind of on the same wavelength as you, man.
He
I can confirm
loves.
it. I can confirm it. I have a Steam account right now.
Yeah.
He
Whoa.
never touched it.
What do you mean he never touched it? His hours of play?
It's not in his library.
0.00.
So
Viewer discretion is advised. Cops is filmed on location with the men and women of law enforcement. All suspects are innocent until proven guilty in a court of law.
Hey, what's up, guys? How you doing today? It's me, your boy, Chris Narc. Welcome to another stream. Thank you to everybody who have given follows recently. I can't get to everybody. I see you, Classy. Thank you for stopping in. We currently are going to be interviewing a individual that wished to come forward on a lot of things here. Ninjician wanted to come onto the stream here and actually talk about the situation at hand, kind of give his take on everything and fill in the gaps where a lot of people might be filling in gaps. I know the situation with him, a lot of people have been trying to reach out to him and talk to him, and this is where we're going to get that information. Everything involving what Ninjician is going to bring up today is based on his experience of the situation, everything. So we're going to make sure that we give him a platform to be confident in, a platform to feel safe in. Again, the mods, at any point you see anything that looks like harassment towards Ninjician or any of the information, especially the fact that we got raided yesterday on the Discord, is something that will not be tolerated. So any of Quantum's lackeys or any of the moderators in Quantum's Discord come into this stream, you are to ban them instantaneously. I do not care. I don't care if that makes me look like a pussy or not. It's just how it's going to be. We want Ninjician to feel welcome here, and we're going to be bringing him and Gara of the Rage back onto the show today. Let me bring them on. All right, guys, you guys are good. Welcome to the show. Appreciate it. Hello?
Good to be back.
All right, there you go. We're all good, right? Ninjician, you can hear me, right? Hello?
yes, sir.
All right, perfect. All right, we're all good. We're all good. Yeah, I know Party Dude, Keep It Classy is here. He's basically filling in the gaps on a lot of things for us on top of that. I forgot to tell you that in the pre-show, Ninjician. Classy wanted to be here to be a support to you as a friend. And if there's anything else that needs to be added in, he's going to write in chat today, okay?
So I'm basically just on Discord, so I'm not even looking at the chat. So
That's
this will
fine.
be yeah.
I'll read out anything like that, all right? So
All good.
what we're going to be doing today is kind of going over everything involving the Quantum situation, which I know is very droll and just beaten death horse situation at the moment. But we wanted to ask you, Ninjician, kind of just to start, what at the end of the day brought you to talk to us? I know we asked you that before the stream, but I kind of want everyone to kind of like understand why, because I know a lot of eyes are going to be on this. What made you officially kind of want to tell your truth here and kind of like clear the air is what you told me in Discord?
I mean, basically things just have to be taken objectively. Like there's a lot of information that could be correct. There could be a lot of information that's not correct. And what ends up happening is if people dogpile on bad information, that's just going to be something where Quantum's going to turn around and say, hey, look at these guys making up all these lies about me. It's better to focus on like the absolute truth of things and what actually happens. And I've been putting up with this for years. So I've kind of seen it from the beginning.
Right.
And there has been some stuff that's been taken either faked or just out of context, but you know, we can touch on that too.
Okay, that sounds perfect. So I would love to go over that because that's something that I feel like a lot of people are jumping on. I know in the beginning, and I can admit it was a very reactionary situation that I kind of went into the Act Man situation a little bit heated because that was my first ever video on it. And that's what we're trying to discuss and kind of clear up today is everything involving, you know, people not understanding certain things, people not understanding, you know, some things that might be taken out of context. Everyone wants to kind of understand what is the facts and what can be considered as conjecture or something that Quantum can use as a fucking victim card, I guess is how I want to put it. So if I had to ask, out of anything that you've seen so far, I'm talking about every video that you've seen. At least I doubt you've been watching all of them, but the big main topics that I kind of want to cover is what are the things that you feel like people are getting wrong about the situation with Quantum. I'm talking about the Ackman, Rich, myself, everybody.
One of the biggest ones is the Discord post.
Okay.
The one that's been passed around, the one that's like a few paragraphs long that got posted, I guess, to OLED gaming, or the long Satanist, atheist, liberal one.
Really?
I'm not sure where that came from.
Okay.
That was never. It looks like it should have been a Discord message in his chat. You have to realize he's not that obvious.
Really?
As funny as it sounds,
he's a lot more subtle.
Yeah, he's a lot more subtle. And the one thing is that gets posted around and pasted so much, and it's not something that he would actually ever write. The communication of it sounds correct, but he's the type of person that doesn't even like to see nudity in movies. So he's not going to sit there and write a text about, father, son, love type of thing. Like he literally doesn't have the capacity to do something like that. Like he would puke all over himself just typing it. So that gets posted around and people are like, "Oh, it's verified. It's not no, it's fake." And I've said it to Rich, I've said it to everybody.
Okay.
It's fake.
Okay, so it's fake. That's good to know, because I was running with it as a meme because I thought it was funny. I thought it was the most ridiculous shit on planet Earth, and I feel like that's what a lot of people were doing, was like, and Gara could probably admit as well that it was kind of like running like a meme. Like it was just like,
oh, it's hilarious.
Yeah, that is the most ramble shit I've ever read in my entire life, is kind of how I view it. But if you're saying that it's not accurate and people are kind of like jumping the gun on that, then I'm taking your word for it, because realistically, that's just how it is.
Yeah, outside of a couple things, really, especially since right now my laptop is literally in the shop. Yeah, I know Quantum's like, oh, how convenient.
Yeah.
Basically, a lot of this would have to be cited as conjecture. I've sent a lot of actual evidence to Actman, like physical evidence,
Right.
that I don't think anyone else has shown so far.
Okay.
But outside of my recollection and some of the screenshots and emails I have, most people are just going to have to take my word for it, like it or not.
Right.
But there you go.
Fair enough. This is the thing about, and Gara, you can kind of like chime in on this if you want. When it comes to Quantum TV, it's hard to discern what's real and what's fake. It's kind of like a Chris Chan situation where you don't know what's real and what's fake until the real really comes at you. Like it pops into your fucking face and it's like, this is real. I said this thing, or I did this thing. You know what I mean? He's kind of,
it's really hard to verify stuff. It's hard.
Yeah. So I feel like that's the thing. I feel like a lot of people keep jumping on the fact that he may have said this thing or may not have said this thing. And it's good that you're here to clear that up, especially the gay satanic atheist agenda thing. That's just, listen, dead meme. Guys, I'm sorry. I'm sorry to everybody who thought that was a good meme. I asked somebody in one of my videos if they could crochet that on a pillow because I thought it was hilarious. But if it's not real, it's a dead meme. That's unfortunate.
Now, if you watch Stop the FOMO, though, you can still say that you support Satanism, because he actually did a full blog post about that. So, like I said, it's not too far from the mark.
Yeah, that is actually funny. I wanted to ask about that. The Stop the FOMO thing. He was really reaching on using Lucifer. Like FOMO was just testing blooming, right? Like, I don't know a lot about TVs, but the blooming feature, the best way to do that for FOMO, at least, was to do Lucifer. And then Quantum on his now deleted blogs, which all of them are gone, right?
I haven't checked, but sure.
They're apparently gone, from what I understand, from like what people are saying. I haven't confirmed that myself. Garo would probably know more than me. A lot of them were kind of like within the realm of just constantly talking shit. And that's kind of what he was doing at the time, and still now doing. I wanted to ask, when it came to before all of this blew up, his standing in the community wasn't that great, obviously, from what I understand, right?
So I didn't realize that he had another channel before I kind of had my, actual run-in with him. And, apparently from everything everyone said, yes, he had a previous channel that was banned. Okay. And we've already seen kind of from, Muda and Kelly that there's proof that there was a channel, it was banned. He's posted
Mhm.
actual community posts talking about it being banned. It was banned for hate speech.
Right. What was the thing that took it down? Was it just the whole channel itself, or was it just one specific incident that took the channel down?
So I'll give you a perfect example. So as of right now, he has multiple YouTube channels. So he has a gaming channel, his main channel, and then he has his controversial truth channel, right?
Right.
So the controversial truth channel used to be called like Quantum Blog.
Okay.
It used to be a different channel. And this is the channel that he would post a video, typically keep it up for maybe like 24 hours and delete it. That type of channel where he's like, you guys really need to get on TikTok because that's where the real information is being shown about this fake pandemic. Or I don't want to go too far into it. Well, I guess I will.
Yeah, it's fine.
One of my favorite things he posted was I think it was a direct link or he'd uploaded video from TikTok proving that around the world, especially in Russia, there was forced vaccination. So the military was coming into people's homes at gunpoint with syringes, forcing them to be, vaccinated.
Are you serious?
And he had this huge video up on like, everyone needs to watch this. This is the truth. This is what's going on. And then someone linked him to another YouTube video that was actually a series of skits about a Russian president, politician, or something. And they showed that exact same footage, which was made as like a TV series for YouTube.
Okay. Jesus.
So the guy's very gullible. Him himself is very gullible.
It seems like it.
I will get personal on some stuff later on, why that kind of gullibility actually led to a lot of his downfall. But when I first bumped into him, this is what I wanted to get across, and this is why I even started making videos about the guy,
Mm-hmm.
is on the AVS forums, which are what are called the AV Science forums. In one of the threads, he had posted a link to his YouTube, and it was like one of his very first posts on there. Had his name, had his branding, had everything on there.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, everybody look at this. I bought this LG OLED. It was a 2018 model.
Mm-hmm.
And I got burn-in on my TV within 1 week. That's what he said.
You're right.
And we looked at the image on his screen, and everyone in the community, it's a science community, so people know what's up.
Yeah, you guys
They
are
said
experts.
Yeah, we mentioned to him, hey, that's not burn-in. That's kind of this strange vignetting image artifact on that TV series. It's caused typically in game mode. It's caused by this. It's caused by that.
Mm-hmm.
Never responded to these people that were quoting his posts and reaching out to him. And way back then, I'd had enough with this guy because every single video he would say, OLED burn-in is real. My TV got burn-in 1 week. Here's the proof. Here's the proof. Here's the proof. And I got sick of it.
Right.
So I made a video. It's on my channel. It's still up on there. And I literally showed his forum posts. I showed the image of his screen. I showed everyone responding to him. I showed everything, right? And he claimed that it was not him that made the forum posts. He said, I've never been to the AV Science forums. That must have been a troll, someone impersonating me.
Right.
And that's where things started to really click with the behavior that's going on right now. His thing is that if he does something and gets caught,
Mm-hmm.
he's like, it's not me. Someone was impersonating me. I'm like, who the hell would impersonate you and link to your YouTube channel?
Right.
Like, that makes zero sense.
It doesn't. And that this is something that I think Gara could touch on a little bit more in depth. The situation with him saying that people were accessing his YouTube and copy striking channels pretty ridiculously. That kind of falls in line with what you just said. Where he turns around and he goes, oh, well, that wasn't me. That wasn't me. I didn't say this. I didn't say that. Or this isn't actually the situation. You guys are blowing it out of context, which Gara, I feel like you can comment on that a lot more, the copyright aspect, because he deleted a lot of those community tab posts and a lot of those DMs. Have you been able to find those?
Yeah, it's actually on my community tab right now.
It's currently on your community tab.
Yeah.
Let's pull that up.
I actually have the screenshots on my phone right now. If you give me a minute, I'll send them to you.
That's all right. I can just dig through the community tab. It's fine. So that's the thing that I'm trying to understand about this man, Ninjician, is that at the end of the day, this guy doesn't take responsibility for anything. He just points the finger and goes, this is all your fault. I didn't say these things. I didn't do these things. Everyone who's a professional, and that's something I want to touch on in a little bit, everyone who's a professional is wrong. So you're just saying that's regular behavior.
Oh yeah.
All the time.
His shtick on YouTube is basically, how do I say this? Every professional, every TV reviewer or calibrator, there's not a lot of them on YouTube. There's a ton of tech reviewers and TV reviewers.
Right.
But a lot of the good ones assess the TV for like how accurate is it when it comes to color, motion, all these things. His idea of motion is to turn up all of your motion enhancement features max, like that soap opera effect, where it looks like everything was recorded with a handy cam kind of thing, like you're at a wedding or something. And somehow, oh gosh, we'll talk about this later too.
Yeah.
He got the idea that, if HDR is a thing, like HDR is out there, the panels can do this wide color range. He's like, I want everything to go into that wide color range. So I'm going to put all of my standard definition, your non-HDR stuff, your Seinfelds and your regular sports. I'm going to make settings for TVs so that people can make all of their stuff look crazy colorful and vibrant. And at first you think, oh, that's a great idea. But then you realize it basically turns everything fluorescent and neon and people look like lobsters and it looks terrible.
Right.
But for him, he likes it. That's what he likes. That's just his preference.
Right.
And because he's so narcissistic, he basically goes, anyone that doesn't believe what I believe is wrong. And because there's so many TV reviewers on YouTube, they're all wrong. I'm the right one. I've got the best settings. I'm a so-called master calibrator.
Is that just what he dubbed himself, or is that like an actual term among professional calibrators?
It's not. No. There's when you're an actual calibrator, I would assume there's amateur or like hobbyist calibrators. And then there's 3 levels of certification through the Image Science Foundation.
Okay.
Which is a level 1, which means you took an online test and you got your certificate. And then they kind of combine level 2 and level 3 training where you've actually gone on site, paid a certification fee, which is close to $2,000, met with the head of ISF and passed an exam, as well as like a physical exam where you're actually calibrating displays in front of them. And that makes you a level 3 calibrator. So I took that certification last year, but I've been calibrating since I was a kid. So like early 2000s, so like you have 2002.
Yeah. So you have non-professional and then actually professional experience going through the actual checks and balances to get your certification, which it seems like, from what I can't prove it because I don't know, you would know, or I see Classy's writing in here about the he's kind of shitting on Quantum for the 2018 OLED burns. Burns in around after 7K hours, not a week. Newer ones take well over 10K hours for permanent screen burn. What I wanted to ask realistically is, everyone's saying that he doesn't have the certification. And I wanted to ask you and Classy this in particular. Has he ever shown to any of the community involving the AV community in particular that certification? Does he have any proof of the certification? Has anyone seen that proof?
No, of course not.
So he touts himself as a professional, but has nothing. Correct.
So basically, and this relates to Westside Tech, and we'll talk about that at some point.
Yeah.
At one point, someone had sent me an email that had like photos of the dude. It had his real name. I don't remember if it had an address or any of that stuff. But the only thing I did with that information was I went to the dealers. Like there's an actual ISF dealers website where you can actually find calibrators that are certified. And here's the one thing that I think a lot of people miss. He used to wear a Deadpool mask like crazy.
Yeah, that was a lot of people in the comments. If you read the comments about the start of everything, they found it ironic that he would dress as an LGBTQ character, which I found just absolutely delicious. When people were pointing that out, I was like, yeah, Deadpool he's poly. So what the fuck? Why is he wearing that?
So here's my biggest thing. As a professional calibrator, I'm on forums. I'm on TV review websites. I'm on the ISF dealer site. I'm on YouTube, right? My email's connected, so people can find me and hire me.
Right.
The one thing I had asked him way back in the day is the reason you get your ISF certification isn't just prestige, it's the fact that you are now listed on their dealer's site. So when people look for a calibrator, they put in their zip code or their area and they get a full listing of people in their area, right? So phone number, email, everything.
Right.
The one thing that Quantum has always said, and this is for years and years and years, is, and you'd see it on his channel, people would say, "Hey, I'd love for you to come calibrate my TV. I'm here in Florida, you know, pretty much wherever we're at." And he
Right.
would state, "No, I keep my calibration business and YouTube separate." And do you guys have any idea how difficult it is to be a professional calibrator and actually be fully self-employed and not have any advertising of yourself, whether it's on the forums, on the ISF dealer site, YouTube? If there's no way that people can contact you or hire you or even see your face or what you look like, the fact that in every single video I used to watch back then, it would always say professional calibrator, quantum TV, blah, 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 or quantum apotheosis.
Right.
That, when you look at it from my angle as a pro calibrator, you make money by referrals and people finding you. By cutting off your entire YouTube audience, you're shooting yourself in the foot.
Yeah, it's not really
So-
good business sense. If you're touting yourself as a professional and you're basically going out there saying, "Well, I'm a professional calibrator. I know how this works." And then,
Yeah.
funny enough, Classy just said he admits to knowing what calibration means, but then openly says he does not calibrate to the standards, which contradicts the
Correct.
definition of calibration. So,
Correct.
how I kind of view it is, you're right. It's shooting yourself in the foot, because what I understand from TV calibration is that you physically have to go to that location. You physically have to see the TV. You have to actually play with the settings on it, and it has to match the room that it's in and the lighting and everything. It can't just be one kind of setting for every television. Am I wrong about that?
Yeah, every single TV, even if they're the exact same model, even same factory run, are all different. He gets very mad at me because I get very, very precise with my calibrations, meaning they're full reference, like as good as they can get. And he's like, "No, man, if you're just close, then that's as good as it's ever going to get." That's not the way that calibrators look at things. So again, when he says things like this, I'm like, "You, sir, are not a calibrator," just by his mindset. He got very upset with me because I think it was last year or maybe even before. I decided that what would make very good content for my channel would be to purchase his actual, VIP membership. So I could actually go through and do a rundown of the settings that he has for my TV, the exact model, and use measurement equipment and look at the errors and the color volume and just the general picture that you get on your screen when you put his settings in. And they're terrible. Like they're not even close.
Jeez.
And I did it the honorable way. I never exposed any of his information. I never put out his photo or his name. I've sat on that stuff for years because I'm not the type of person to quote unquote like dox or expose or do something to somebody.
Right.
And once we get into his retaliation for everything that I did, you guys are going to start seeing. You guys are going to see kind of how he plays the victim. Like everything that he does to others, he then runs back and pretends is being done to him to try and like confuse everybody. And I'll give specific examples of that too.
Yeah, I would love the specific examples. That to me is just kind of like, in my opinion, it's a little damning to his credibility. It's been damning for years. And I wanted to ask, like, how long have you kind of been just tracking Quantum's movements? I guess that's the way I want to put it. Like, just how he's been acting.
So I started my channel a few years back. I had literally quit my day job and I needed to put out content so I could, send it to clients and say, "Hey, this is the type of stuff I do." February 12th, 2020 is basically when I guess I started tracking him. So about 2.5 years ago, roughly.
Right. I have the video pulled up right here.
Okay. And it's one of those things where you pop his name into Google and everybody just knows that he's terrible regardless. Like there's no real supportive opinion that's out there unless you're on his channel or in his Discord. So I made that video honestly in real time, just researching. It was a very amateur video, but it's some of the long-lasting proof that if he deletes something, he thinks it doesn't exist.
Right.
He's like, you have no proof. You didn't see me upload that video with my bare hands. Like, you didn't see anything. So yeah, I would say like February 2020. And then it kind of went back and forth until he started coming into some of my just regular gaming live streams, trying to like pick a fight. And I had invited him onto my channel, a really small channel back then, maybe 300, 400 subscribers, stating, hey, we can chat live if you really want to, talk shop about calibration. Obviously, I just wanted him to like start slipping up, but he will never go on to like a live chat like this or a live stream with somebody else. He never puts himself in that position for obvious reasons.
Well, yeah, he can't really do that because the minute he gets into that chat and he has to actually communicate with the individual that's criticizing him. I don't think he knows how to handle it. At least that's what you've been kind of like getting to at that. He can't handle the criticism, and it just seems to snowball as it goes. What was the thing that kind of what's the word I'm looking for here? When you were tracking his movements and doing everything along these lines, what was maybe the worst experience that you've had with Quantum, if you don't mind me asking?
So I want to say it was September 2021 was when I had put out a video saying I paid $5 for Quantum TV settings so you don't have to. Kind of like one of those before you buy videos.
Yeah, like the ones that are like before you buy like this this toilet wand or whatever.
Yeah, and I think I even had I think my girlfriend was even sitting next to me while I was recording the video, and I mean, they were god awful. I think we were playing Animal Crossing or something, and I was just getting her honest reaction to everything because she's into graphic design, UX design, so she's very visual. She was just laughing it up and everything. Well, what ended up happening, like early in the morning, it was like 7 o'clock in the morning. She kind of rushes out of the bedroom, and she gets this message to her phone that is a GIF of like a Deadpool, like kind of like animated, like kind of like laughing at her.
Yeah.
And it just has her name, and then it has our full address on it.
What? I wasn't aware of that.
Oh yeah, this is something I've sent to Ackman. She actually, little do people know, when you have like an iPhone, you actually have like cloud backup for messages and things like that. So even though this was a long time ago, we still have it, and I was able to download it and send it over to Kelly.
Oh my God. Why do you think the Ackman didn't move on that?
It's like I said, it's all just keeping everything together, and I told him just hold on to it.
All right.
Now, I started getting messages from a user called Controller Corpse. So Controller CORPS, which happens to be Quantum's TikTok username, which now I think says something else. I forget what it is.
Man, he's everywhere.
And yeah. And it basically had, it was just like saying hi with my real name and address. And then she started getting text messages, and her family members started getting text messages with those same pictures and their addresses. So basically, my girlfriend's Vietnamese. She wasn't born here. Her and her family came over when they were 14. So her extended family are basically a lot of people that have escaped or been sponsored to come over to the U.S. So a lot of them don't even have like fluent English skills, meaning they're getting these text messages. Like imagine the sweetest people just getting like Deadpool with their names and addresses to their phones.
Jeez.
I still have no clue to this day how that happened, right? And in my mind, I go, okay, there's two scenarios here. Either it is him directly, or it could be something like one of his mods, or it could be like a super fan. Somehow some super fan was, threatening me and doing all this other stuff on his behalf. Later in the week, I was getting calls from my actual girlfriend, and I would get them every 30 seconds. And her phone, she wasn't calling me. It was a spoof number to the point where it was just keeping my phone locked up, so I wasn't able to take calls for like calibrations.
Right.
So I ended up having to block these phone numbers just so my phone would be untied. Like, that's the kind of stuff I dealt with. But that was maybe the, yeah.
That's a lot.
So here's the big, so here's the big thing, and I mentioned this on Rich's stream, but there's another side of it that I didn't really talk about.
Mm-hmm.
I basically had emailed the dude. You know, I had his YouTube email, and I had looked him up, and he had another email listed. You know, as you do, you just put the person's name and see if they have an email. So I'd emailed them like 2 different emails, never heard back from the guy.
Mm-hmm.
Still getting the calls. I looked up what to do, and apparently, if you call the police,
Mm-hmm.
and I called local police, and they basically said, well, we can't do anything here. What you want to do is file what's called like an IC3 report, or it's one of those. It's an internet crimes prevention report where you can put all the information in, you can do all this stuff, right?
Right.
It's IC3. You're right. It's
IC3. Yeah. So I put all that stuff in. I had put his name as well as his spouse's name because that stuff had been sent to me. And basically, I had sent him another email that basically said, and I still have that email that I sent to him. And I basically said, hey, file this report. Do not contact me. Do not do anything anymore whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
And magically, everything stopped.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember you talking about that before.
The only way to deduce that is he either did it himself or had full control over whoever was doing it, basically to tell them to stop. But those went to his email, so whatever had happened, he had full control over it. Now, the cherry on the top is that the moment I started posting about this on my YouTube community channel saying, hey, this is what's going on, he then started posting on his channel that he was getting these same types of calls. And he was blaming it on me. So there's this confusion when things start happening, or when he says, oh, I got hacked, or they're doxing me. Like, anytime you see him say something, you just throw it back on him. It's projection.
Right. It's you basically coming out and begging him to stop, and then he uses your points as a way to say, but this is happening to me too now. Like, how could you do this to me? I didn't do anything. I wanted to ask this. When it came to that entire situation, I know you said you didn't know who it was or one of his mods. I don't want to speculate, but I feel like that's something that, based on if you watched the Discord leak video that me and Gara did, when Anonymous dug up the Ackman's information through that management website.
Mm-hmm.
Do you believe that Anonymous was the one making those calls, or just a crazy super fan like the one that reached out to the Ackman's brother? Like, if you had to really kind of put it into some kind of who may have done it.
I don't know, but like, I don't think I even really knew who that Anonymous guy was back then.
Right.
So it never even like crossed my mind.
Mm-hmm.
But those guys are close enough to the point where they talk outside of Discord.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, I can't just look at the Discord and say, oh, he probably had something to do with it. But
right.
It is funny how the guy throws around a lot of legal jargon, you know, like one of those armchair lawyers, thinking that, it's not actually doxing someone unless you put their information out there and it's public information. No. During this time, he had put my full name in one of his videos. So I had literally, just for fun, I had sent him a privacy complaint.
Right.
Which means you have to edit out that portion of the video. And he decides on his community tab that he's going to look up all of my business listings. And especially with everything going on, he's going to just post my email, my phone number, everything on his community page to try and get people to like harass me.
Oh my God.
I had one guy call me and then shoot me a text, and the guy was simply there to say, hey man, I'm just trying to warn you that this guy had tried to dox you. I had no other harassment, no other, I'm sorry, bro. Like, it's almost like you don't even have an army. Like, people did not even want to come after me.
Which is kind of pathetic that he thinks he can rally these people to do that. Like, I know I said in my previous video that the incitement to dox the Ackman was the QTV podcast episode where he's like, well, you could just look it up yourself. It's really easy. And I kind of equated what Quantum was saying to inciting his audience, which I still kind of believe that. I still do in a sense, but based on your situation in the past, it doesn't seem like he had this army, like you said, that are basically following his every beck and call on
No.
at least doxing you at least.
No, like his Discord is a desert. It's a ghost town.
It's a graveyard at the moment, or even back
Yeah.
then.
Yeah, I've never once said that he has been like faking subscribers or views or any of this stuff, but
Right.
I know others have.
Which I
But
don't
the fact
believe.
is, yeah, I mean, the fact of the matter is, like, he's not important when it
Mhm.
comes to like, do people respect his opinion? No, they don't. They're just there to laugh at him.
Mhm.
And I think back in the day, I was having more fun with it rather than like it was fun until he kind of crossed that line. Just like
Right.
the "I'm gonna call your mother" line.
Right.
It's all fun and games until that kind of stuff happens.
Until family gets
And
involved.
yeah, and that's where I was like, okay, what can I do to make this guy angry without breaking any terms of service, without like stepping off of YouTube and just putting up a video going, hey, this is what this guy said, and look how wrong he is.
Right.
And it was a lot of fun, but not to the point where they're building little Discord communities and like photoshopping me and saying that I look like a drug addict and all this.
Yeah, the drug addict one was just a real big stretch on their end. I can't believe that they even said that. I was like, what the hell are you talking about?
I remember responding to Camelot on Twitter with, I'm 5'11", I'm 225 pounds, and I rep 315 pounds on the bench, 405 on squat, almost 600 on deadlift. Like, I'm a big dude.
God damn.
So if anyone were to think I look like a drug addict, like they would probably think I was on roids or something, which I'm not.
They
But
said
then he's
crack.
like, oh, yeah, crack. Yeah, that's it. And then he's like, oh, a nicotine addict. Like, I haven't smoked a cigarette since I was in high school.
Right.
And like that was like, oh yeah, I'll try it. You know, like I'm a total health freak. I don't even drink that often. So for him to, what he didn't realize is I was up till like 2 a.m. and then I hopped on with someone that I think was in Sydney to do a stream with them. Or I did it early in the morning for some reason. So I was on like no sleep for that video. But at least I don't look like, my head is too big for my body.
Yeah, it's just what it is. You're traveling all the way to Sydney. Like, it's gonna happen. You're not gonna look your best.
Yeah.
Classy actually DM'd me and he wanted me to read this out loud for you.
Sure.
I haven't seen anyone shown in the community post. I haven't seen anyone show in the community post he made I sent above about banning anyone who mentions FOMO and calling them Satanists, or him crying about stop the FOMO and be the installer surpassing him in subs. They were direct from his community page on YouTube. So that's something I wanted to kind of like bring up, is his incessant need to constantly say that you, Classy, B, FOMO, all of them, right? I don't understand where he gets the idea that you guys are like these clout chasers that are trying to come after him. It just doesn't make sense. It looks like you guys were just being critical of his work and critiquing it and trying to help him, and yet he turned around and was like, fuck you guys, is kind of how I've taken the situation. What's his problem with all you guys saying that stuff? Is it just his ego?
It's just his ego. It's kind of like a, fuck you, Donnie situation where we're not actually criticizing him or even trying to communicate with him. It's that people in chat or comments or videos or live chat will be like, oh, what did you think about this guy? And when we'll be like, yeah, we don't talk about that guy. And he'll take that, like I said, that's how you hurt someone's egos. Like, it's like, yeah, we don't even respect the guy. Why are we going to talk about him? But if you look, I'm the only person I believe out of FOMO and Classy and I think I'm the only person that ever took the dude on like head on,
right,
when it came to the AV community, because honestly I just didn't care. I've never been on YouTube to do like partnerships or affiliates or any of this stuff. So for me, I was like, well, this is fun. I'll be that guy just to like take him on head on. So that's why even after I'd stopped making videos for months and months and months, he'll keep throwing my name around.
Yeah,
because he hates me.
he really has a hate boner for you, dude. I don't know
Oh, yeah.
what it is other than you were the only one from what you're saying to stand up to him. Like I know Classy's been kind of sending me information and stuff, but you were the
Yeah.
first public figure of the AV community to basically be like, this guy's settings are dog shit. I don't understand how he considers himself a professional calibrator, all that stuff. So you basically pinned a target on your back because you had nothing to lose. Like you already have an established business. YouTube is just a side hustle.
Yeah, like even now, like most people know, like my YouTube channel is going to move to like just some gaming clips or some maybe random live streams. Like I'm literally going to be working like 70 hours a week in the coming months. I won't have any time for YouTube, and that's why I also want to talk now because I'm not going to make any more videos on the subject.
Right, and that's what I saw from your previous stream when you were talking about everything, shutting it down and kind of moving past everything. I did want to ask, outside of your job, there was a part of the stream that I think I want to bring it up to you because it's honestly a really fair point about the quantum situation, and you know more about his psychology than basically anyone that I've talked to so far outside of people collecting info for me through the spies. When you said, and I think I'm gonna butcher the quote here, but you said somebody asked you, "What do you think of the quantum TV thing?" And your take was, if everyone just deleted videos of him and threw everything to the wayside and just ignored him, this would die down. You still stand by that, obviously, right?
Yeah, he feeds off of this stuff. Now, I think the situation's gotten to the point where it's just too big.
It's
Where
impossible.
it can't. It's impossible. But the way you kind of kill the troll is literally that you don't feed the troll.
Right.
And he can't make response videos if you don't mention his name. And that's why we used to say, thou who shalt not be named, is because any slight slip and the guy goes full like off his meds, makes videos and community posts and tags everybody, and I get tagged on all this crazy stuff even now on like his secondary channels and tertiary channels. I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah, why are you still hitting me?
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I mean that would have been an ideal situation if people literally just stopped talking about him. He would get crazier and crazier and crazier until someone would talk about him. But I'm happy a lot of people have made some good ad revenue off of him. It's pretty funny to me.
What I wanted to bring up is kind of like the reason I brought that up is because for me, my channel started because of quantum. I equate quantum to the start of my channel, and I thanked him in the last video for kind of getting my name out there, and Gara's and every other channel that's been covering this. I feel like at this point where we're at in the zeitgeist of the quantum arc is a lot where J Station was. I feel like you know who J Station is, right? Or no?
Barely.
Like the 3M content shit and the raising of the dead celebrities.
Yeah, I remember what he did in regards to his girlfriend, because I believe I watched a video about that situation, which was, gosh, like how to kill your YouTube channel.
Dude,
but
I hate him. I hate him so much.
But I saw some back and forth with him with somebody. It might have been ReviewTech on Twitter. I was like, this guy's just a loser.
Right. So the reason I brought him up is to kind of equate the situation of where quantum is, where quantum is becoming so infamous. He's having the J Station effect, where people making these videos, sure, are giving him attention, but it's also dragging a lot of attention to YouTube, which unfortunately they decided to kind of go full scorched earth on the Act Man and Rich and Camelot, which I wanted to ask you about that later, how you feel about all this shit getting to the point that it's at with YouTube. I feel like all these people making videos, even the small commentators and the small creators, it's not just for the numbers. It's literally exposing an individual, because my take is if we let up, he'll fade back into the dark and then fuck up so bad again that we're just going to have to redo the cycle again, is kind of how I view it. I don't know if you agree with that aspect or not, because that's just my take on it, at least.
I think when you look at it from YouTube's perspective, it's one of those things where
your mic's kind of
biggest problem
playing in and out.
Let me move it around a bit. I think the biggest problem with Kelly's video,
yeah, still having issues.
What?
Yeah, still having issues with the mic.
All right. Let's see. Now I'm playing replay.
No, still.
test. How's that?
Try talking a sentence.
Okay.
Oh, you sound
So
good.
is it working better now?
Yep, you're perfect.
Okay. So I'm decent friends with Kelly. I've talked to him on DMs. We even chatted by phone.
Right.
The biggest problem of his video was the back half.
Mm-hmm.
And I get it, and I get what he did, and I understand that putting YouTube out there and saying, "Hey, you guys need to enforce your policies."
Mm-hmm.
That's that's a really tricky position to put YouTube in.
Right.
If he had, and this is my opinion, if he had stopped that video at the proof of ban evasion and maybe gone a little bit further into it and had sent that and got YouTube's attention, I think everything would be a lot different now. But when you police the police, it's very difficult for them to kind of like obeys onto you and then bow down. You know what I mean? Because you're not above YouTube.
Right.
You know, you're on their platform, and you can't hall monitor them to the point where you find someone in the hall and you can't just drag them into the principal's office and tell them, "Hey, this guy needs to be expelled."
Right.
So that's the trickiest part of the situation. The whole doxing jokes on Twitter, I think, was just them finding an excuse to kind of like punish him. I don't think that was a fair punishment at all.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's strange because I don't know of their policies. I don't know how they investigate ban evasion or hate speech or any of this stuff. But the fact of the matter is the guy obviously has 3 different channels, and he'll post and link stuff to these other channels that can be very, very damaging and disturbing and derogatory and racist and xenophobic. And he'll leave them up for like a day, maybe a day or 2, and then he'll just delete them. Right. So like a lot of the paper trail, the evidence just isn't there. So if you're YouTube and you start looking at the guy, like I don't know how they're letting him get away with some of the videos he's been doing recently, which are pretty outrageous.
That's kind of how I feel.
It's just a very tricky situation.
It is, because right now YouTube's in a very precarious position, because after hitting #1 on trending, the Justice for Ackmen thing, which I think me and you can agree, after it hit #1 on trending and all of the Ackmen's responses to everyone after that, he's got to stay off Twitter. I've criticized him on that. I agree with you. Trying to police the police is just not the way to go about it. Yes, you can bring it to YouTube's attention and kind of be like, "Hey, like, look, this guy, you got to look at him." Yeah. But the minute you start calling into question them, you are their employee. I agree with you on that. That you really can't just start screaming up the totem pole like that. But I feel like what the Ackmen did was more of a reactionary response to the second one. Like, I agree with you. If he cut off at the ban evasion and kind of stuck to the points of the community guidelines aspect a little bit more and just didn't involve YouTube in such a major spectacle way, everything would have been a little bit different. It wouldn't have reached the zeitgeist that it's at now. Yeah,
I mean, including all of the videos on like policies was fine to me. Like it supports it. The issue was like throwing it back in their face. It's like running to HR to turn in the CFO. It's not going to work.
It's not, because they're going to turn around and be like, "Excuse me, are you criticizing the guy who pays you?"
Exactly.
So Classy,
that's kind of my feeling on that.
I get you. I see Classy wrote something. As soon as things die down or views slow down for Q, he will make another video attacking another YouTuber that does anything that disagrees with him for drama views, which is a fair point. And I think me and you can kind of like agree on that.
Yeah. So his cycle of videos works like this.
Okay.
Find out what the newest, hottest TV is. And if there's a cheaper version, he'll purchase that one too. And I don't know if he returns the TV, sells them. Doesn't matter. He is going to go against the mainstream viewpoint. So if FOMO and other guys are like, "Oh, the motion on this TV is great," he's going to go, "No, the motion is terrible. And out of the box, the picture is terrible." We're talking like a Sony Master Series TV, by the way. And then he's going to go, "This TV is a piece of junk. It's overpriced. It's terrible. I would not buy it whatsoever."
Right.
Next video. "Oh my God, you guys, this TV is gorgeous. I stayed up all night working on settings to fix this terrible TV.
Mhm.
Join now, get my settings. So if you want to buy this TV, you can fix it.
So,
That's his cycle.
so he starts as a
So anyone that
contrarian.
says anything, yes.
Okay.
And then if anyone, even like Tech Giant, innocent, sweet YouTuber from the from the UK,
Mm-hmm.
makes a standard regular video just talking about how great this TV is,
Mm-hmm.
and Quantum goes into his comments section basically saying, "Oh, what did you use to test motion? Because the motion on that TV is terrible." The Sony TVs actually have some of the best motion on the market.
Mm-hmm.
Just so you know, like the smoothness of things moving is amazing. And the YouTuber Paul, the tech giant, responds and says, "Hey, I see your comment. I've got a family emergency right now. I think it was his son was sick with COVID or his wife had COVID. Something was terrible." He goes, "I'll get back to you."
I think I remember it was the
And
whole family.
yeah. So immediately Quantum makes like 2 or 3 videos about how he's dodging the question and can't answer to his motion questions and all this other crazy like. So that's how he does these gotchas on YouTubers, is he'll go into their comments and ask them questions that if they don't give the right answer, the answer that he likes, he'll just make videos about them and saying, "Oh, exposed," and "You're a fraud," and "You're getting paid by these TV companies," and all this other stuff.
Oh my god. Can
That's his thing.
Oh my god.
I'll be right back.
That's petty as shit. You'll be right back? All right, no problem, man. I'm gonna answer Classy's stuff. What was that, Classy? He tried to show slow motion on helicopter blades with the image paused. How the fuck do you test motion when it's slow mode and the image is paused? Like I don't get that. Like, I don't even know how to calibrate a TV properly, and that just sounds wrong to me, a complete fucking noob on the situation. That's just mind-blowing to me, Classy, that he thinks he can get away with that. What was that? He attacked him for child abuse. What? Wait, Classy, back up. He attacked him for child abuse for putting his daughter in a video with her blurred out. In what context was that, Classy? In what context? Was it just a video?
Okay, I'm back.
All right. I was actually answering some of Classy's stuff. The helicopter blur, the blades on slow motion. I think I heard you laugh at that one.
Oh yeah.
What's the just out of morbid curiosity, because I don't think I've ever heard of this before. I can't tell if he attacked Paul for child abuse, putting his daughter in a video. What was?
No, that was Mike.
That was Mike
from My Gadgets World, and I have some funny commentary on that too.
Right.
So Mike from My Gadgets World has kids, and I think his daughter had wandered into the room while he was filming the video, and he had 2 TVs, one on top of the other, and he goes, "Hey, honey, which one do you like better? Which one do you think looks better?" And I forgot which one she chose. She pointed to one of the TVs. It's like, "Oh, that one," and she's like, "Oh, okay." And the little kid, being a kid, she's like 3-4 years old. She's like, "Oh, can I go now?" And he's like, yeah, like laughed her off.
Right.
And he basically claims that that's child abuse because he's forcing his daughter to be in a video when she doesn't want to be, saying, "Hey, can I go?" Like the guy tries to twist and turn things so much, it's just unbelievable.
That's a massive stretch. Like, I understand people have issues with like family channels like Ryan Toy Review, where it's like a toddler and they basically make the content surrounding just him. I can see that as a point, but the daughter just wandered into the room, from what you're telling me, said something. He was like, "Oh, this is a funny moment to keep in the video." That's it.
Yeah.
What the
And
fuck?
you know, I've been watching this guy for a few years now, and gosh, there's a lot of good stuff we can go into. I don't know how much time you have, but
I literally
he
got
does
all
claim
day.
to have 3 he claims he has 3 kids.
Right.
And with all of the live streams that he does, with all the videos that he does, you know, a lot of them are just off the cuff, and his wife is in the room filming. I've yet to ever seen, like, I don't have kids, but if I'm live streaming and my girl's in the office with me, even my cats are going to come up to the door and start pawing at the door to come in.
Right.
I've never heard any knocks. I've never heard any voices in the background. I've never seen him turn over and say, hey, you know, I'm making a video. I've never seen any of that from the guy.
Really?
It's really strange, like
That he just
how controlled he must have
Ooh.
his house.
Yeah.
Like we're talking cameras indoors
Yeah, that's a little
that
freaky.
do full color video and audio. It's just creepy.
I have a serious question.
Yeah, Gara, what do you got?
Sure.
Okay. Ninjician, you can answer this whether you like it or not.
Be nice to him.
Oh, I am.
Truth or dare?
Truth or dare time.
But no, seriously though, since Westside Tech did a video on this, he's claiming that Quantum TV lives in a storage.
Storage.
So if we want to bring up Westside Tech, let me say this first of all.
Yeah.
Because
Let's get into the meat and potatoes.
Westside Tech doesn't like me.
Okay.
Okay. He had posted a video like 2 weeks ago, which got taken down for one reason or the other. I assume it's copyright issues.
Mm-hmm.
I had mentioned earlier that, you know, my girlfriend's Vietnamese, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I watched this like 10-minute video about myself that he had uploaded, and I realized the back half of the video was the fucking scene from Full Metal Jacket, where the Vietnamese whore is coming up to the soldiers.
What
and they're
the
playing the music.
Fuck? No.
Yeah. And then, no, swear to you, if he denies it, like, bring him on, see if he denies it.
I asked him to DM me
Then
when I saw him in
the
Rich's
dude-
chat.
Then the dude uploads a fake apology video because I had super chatted Rich being like, you really don't want to have Westside on your channel. So whatever went down with Westside and Quantum back in the day,
Mm-hmm.
Westside got banned for it because he was literally putting out the guy's address, full
Oh
name,
my god.
exactly where he lived, the fact that, you know, his wife was the manager, here's the locations where they worked. Here's the reality of things. And I can only say this now because they no longer live there.
Right.
I won't say how I know that, but I know that. Okay.
Mhm.
They lived in an office unit above a storage facility. So they were on-site management. So his wife was the GM,
Okay.
right? And I didn't realize this years and years ago. Westside was posting photos and addresses of exactly where they lived,
Oh my god.
doxing the crap out of them. And he's mad that I called him out about it.
Are you serious?
It's still on his channel.
Holy
You can literally
shit.
go to Westside's
it is.
channel
Let's
I'm
4
seeing
years
it
back
right
and
now.
find it all.
let's take a
I'm
look
seeing
at
it right now.
Yeah,
Thank you for
Now-
clarifying that. Thank you.
of course.
Westside Tech. Where
Now-
are we looking for this? Because that's insanity. Clearing the air with
Just
Ninjician TV.
Sort by oldest.
Oh my god.
Oh, yeah.
What
So-
the fuck?
He uploads a fake apology video to me.
Mm-hmm.
He goes, "Oh, I apologize to him. Have me on your stream, Rich." So he uploads this crocodile tear apology video to me.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next thing you know is he then uploads another video whining about how ReviewTech won't have him on the stream, and then backhanding the crap out of me in that video too. I'm like, bro, I mean, at least we know how to pronounce quantum apotheosis. It's apotheosis, not apotheosis. Get it right.
That's what I was trying to teach Gara before you came on. He kept saying your name wrong, and I was like, it's Ninjician. It's Ninjician.
Oh yeah.
What is this? Hold on.
Trust me, he's already been in. Ninjician's already been in my comment section, kind of like, bruh, you're saying it wrong. What's wrong with you?
And then Classy just said
Oh,
Westside
yeah,
Tech
yeah.
is trying to get eyes on him. He even says himself he is
Yeah.
ban evading too. What the fuck? Are we dealing with another Quantum?
So the weird thing was, if you go to Controversial Truth YouTube channel, now I did not see this with my own eyes, but he has a video up where basically he showed a lot of playlists that were under Westside Tech's actual channel
Mm-hmm.
that were very creepy. Like,
There it is.
we're talking kids getting dressed for school and all this other stuff. At that point, there's a reason why I don't email you back, Westside. There's a reason why when you say, hey man, I'm in LA, you're in San Diego, I'm going to come down there and meet you, like, you realize what you're saying to me on video, right?
That
Like,
you know where I live.
you can't say that kind of stuff to someone else. Yeah, exactly. You can't say this kind of stuff to someone and expect them to be friendly with you. So no, I'm not friendly with Westside.
All right, it makes sense just from the interactions that you're telling us here. I do see the video on Controversial Truth right now about Westside. Westside Tech blames his daughter for this. I feel like that was some kind of like smear campaign for something that Westside did. I'm not sure what it's about. I never watched it because I refuse to click on his Controversial Truth channel if I can fucking stomach it. But
I do recommend watching that video because there's video evidence of the playlists that are in there, and you guys let me know if you think it's faked or not. I didn't even care about it.
Fair enough.
But beyond that, so here's what ends up happening. I think I remember saying that someone by the name of James, which is a fake name, so I can say it, had emailed me all this information about, Quantum TV, photos of him, photos of his wife, Facebook, all this stuff that I didn't care about. And I'd responded to the email going, dude, I don't need any of this info. Like, I'm not interested in any of this. Well, it turns out that was Westside Tech. And his whole thing about me is, man, that guy was acting smug. I'm like, bro, you're trying to send me information hoping that I might put it on my YouTube channel. Like, you're trying to use me to dox somebody. Like, how fucking dare you? Like, I'm never gonna talk to you or work with you because I don't talk to those types of people.
Yeah, you don't want to be associated in the orbit of people that are actively trying to solicit information and send information about people's private lives. Like that's just a massive red flag in my book. It's scary when people do that.
Give me about 10 to 15 minutes. I hate to do this to you.
No, you're fine,
I have a client here to pick up a TV, so I'll be here, but I'll be right back.
Yeah, Ninjician, you do what you gotta do. I'll just deal with the chat and Gara. Gara, how do you think things are going? Chat, how do you think things are going? We're learning a lot today.
Oh, the video I have in store for everybody after I deal with the Actman one.
Right.
Oh boy.
Right. So with Ninjician, he's being very forthcoming, and I genuinely appreciate it. Not a lot of people are very open to talking about like actual doxing stories like that. That's incredible.
Exactly.
I'm very happy about that. Keep it classy, Chris. Show those community posts while waiting for him to come back if you can. All right. So Gara, can you DM me your community post about Quantum trying to basically just be a douche? About the
yeah, it's actually in your Discord. Actually,
it's in my Discord.
Yeah, because like the angle of where the pictures were within it wasn't working on the community tab on phone perfectly fine. So I said, I'm sending it to your Discord.
Did Ninjician just leave? Oh no, somebody just tried to join. Can you still hear me? Hello.
Yo, you there?
All right, yeah, I'm here. All right, cool. It just went out. Thank you, Classy, for sending me that on Twitter as well. So I'm going to go over Gara's, and then I'm going to match it up with yours, Classy. So I'm going to bring that up. So it begins. I just got an email about a copyright claim I didn't file. If you receive any fake claims, please reach out. I'll try a retraction immediately. So that's basically confirming what Ninjician's saying is that he just pretends that shit doesn't happen. And that when it does happen to him, he's out of it. He's just blaming everybody else. So this is the stuff that Classy sent to me. A little bit more in depth. Classy, where do you want me to go? I'm going to be up front with you. I read over a few of these. Is it this community tab right here, the quick rant? Do you want that one? Just put a 1 in chat if that's the case. We're just waiting on Classy. Yeah? All right, cool. All right, so I'm going to read this out loud for everybody. Gar, you're privy to all this, obviously. So, quick rant, I guess. But how has nobody noticed this? Be the installer and FOMO are rapidly gaining subs way faster than anyone else in the history of AV YouTube community, despite having lower views and experience levels. I, for one, the ego that this man has is phenomenal. He's the kind of person that sees somebody get, like, let's say 10,000 views and one of his videos flops and it only has like a K, and he freaks the fuck out and goes on some kind of like a complete fucking rant that doesn't make any sense. This is like reading like I said in the last video, and Gara was there for that. This is like reading a crazy manifesto of like just YouTube bullshit. It's not even like I can't imagine that this individual exists sometimes. I have 35K subs and over 7 million views. It's in line with natural growth. I'm good with it. However, these guys warp speed past everyone else in less than a fraction of the time it took all of us to build respectable channels. If you have time to check these analytics, it's a fun game to play, I suppose. With a fucking... Why... Can I just be real, Classy? Can I just be real with you real quick? Why does he put emojis in everything? How old is Quantum that he's putting emojis in a fucking community post? I don't even know his real name. I don't even know anything real about this guy. Because he's like a fucking enigma to me. Who puts emojis in as a point in a fucking community post to your actual fans? Let's take a look here. Tech Steve has over 100k subs and over 28 million views. Good stuff. Paul the Tech Giant has 70k subs and over 20 million views. Again, good stuff. They put the time in work and got the results. It's nice that he talks really... it's nice that he says nice things about Paul, but then proceeds to say, don't you dare come into my chat after receiving harassment from him. Like... That's the part that's kind of like blowing my mind, is that he gives props to Paul, but then when Paul says, hey, I'm getting harassment from your channel after he makes some videos about Paul, he literally started talking mad shit about him and saying, don't you dare talk to me like that. Like some kind of fucking omnipotent god. This man's ego is something else. Also, to everyone who was offended by me saying doing emojis, listen, in texts, fine, don't care. If you're posting this on a community page to fucking get the point across, you're doing too much. Am I wrong on that, Gara? I don't feel like I'm fucking wrong.
No.
Paul the Tech,
you nailed it on that.
Yeah. Right. Paul the Tech Giant, 20 million views, beating the already unfair YouTube algorithm. Okay, unfair YouTube. Just make better content. Why are you calling it the unfair algorithm? Not once on any of my videos have I said the fucking algorithm's unfair. That's both on the Chris the Narc channel and Narcax. I don't know what the fuck he's talking about. Like, it is unfair to a certain extent, but if you make good content, it rewards you. Yes, Flatley, we know the meme. The new meme, everybody, is that he's vegan. He can't be homophobic. Instead of the gay satanic atheist agenda one, we're just going with the vegan one. I guess that's just going to trump it.
This cucumber's looking really good. I'll be right back.
Yeah, that cucumber just full-blown deep throat. That overnight. Yeah, okay, boys. Wait, what? All that overnight. How is that overnight? That probably took a significant amount of time for these individuals to get over even 10k subs, and he's just like, hey, you know what? Huh? Overnight? Okay, boys. Okay, boys. Okay, boys. What the fuck? I know what you're doing, but whatever, I guess. So he's insinuating bots and view subbing. Great. Good start, Quantum. You're very smart. Just fucking kidding. I'm sure all the subs that they get are totally legit. They're just better than every single AV YouTuber that has ever done this, right? Totally legit, guys. Nothing to see here. Oh, and don't forget, anyone that notices this and calls this out is totally jealous. Oh my god. Classy, how have you and Ninjician, like, dealt with this? I couldn't imagine, like, the pre-era of Quantum until it reached this zeitgeist. I just don't understand. Classy, how the fuck did you deal with this? Like, really? Like, really, really, really? What was that? What was that again? The other post is the one where he says he will ban anyone that watches FOMO and says they're Satanists. Okay, we're definitely going to laugh at that one. So basically, this is just him insinuating bots and view subbing. What is this one? No live stream tonight. I'm going to spend time with the family. Most people will do anything for success. It's sad, including sell their soul to a pro-Lucifer audience base. Fortunately, I'm not the one of the moralist, godless, fatherless activity individuals. I need to ask a Ninjician if that's real. I know it's his fucking post and everything, but after Ninjician confirmed that the gay satanic atheist meme is not real, I need him to confirm this one too. I believe you, Classy. I do. But it's so funny to me that every time he does something funny, I don't think it's real. Because it's actually hilarious. Like... How does the show Lucifer make you a Satanist? I've watched Lucifer a handful of times. It doesn't make me a fucking Satanist. Ever. It's the same point that I made when I said I watch Alex Jones ironically because I think he's entertaining. I don't believe anything he's fucking expouting, but it's funny watching him take a great sword to an Amazon drone and break it on camera. Like, you can't debate me that that's not funny. Like, it's the same thing can be said for this situation where he turns around and goes, "Oh, you know, this is fucking bullshit. This is bullshit." Also, pro casual, yes, at the bachelor party, we watched a lot of Kenobi. I blew through the whole season, and I'm just waiting for the last episode. That's how lame our friends are. I love all of our friends. I do. Second family and everything. We spent so much time at the bachelor party just fucking watching Kenobi. Classy. Go up to the post above the one you read. This one right here, the one with The Last of Us, The Last of Us 2 comment, Classy. Is this the one you're talking about, dude? This one right here, The Last of Us one? What's this one? Keep going up? All right. Just write one in chat when you're ready. Oh, this! Is this it? Just write a 1 in chat, Classy. Or 2 in chat if it's not. Is it this one? Oh, the FOMO support. Okay, I found it. So, a guy makes one meme. Here for the satanic cult. Quantum. And this is his blog post, by the way. This one, right, Classy? I'm just making sure. This one. Okay, perfect. So, Gara, are you watching the stream right now?
Oh, of course, man.
Do you want to read this one? Because I think it's hilarious, but I want you to read it.
Oh wait, straight from the community.
Oh yeah, the one right on the page on my stream right now. The one about all FOMO supporters will be banned from this point forward.
Okay. All FOMO supporters will be banned from this point forward. Any mention of his name is also subject to a ban, depending on context. FOMO ignores all comments except this one. But hey, keep saying I'm reaching, looking for clicks, overreacting, and denying the truth. If you support concepts like the devil being a good guy, you're a POS. That needs to leave. I'm not a saint, and you don't need to be one either.
Far from it. Far from a fucking saint, bro.
You definitely aren't welcome to bring those demonic spirits here. If you sympathize with the devil, thinking evil is okay, as long as it's portrayed in a joking manner, you'll be best suited finding another channel. I will always speak against evil BS like this. Enough said. In the next video, we'll get to regular scheduled content. Be advised, this channel has strong moral character requirements.
I have returned.
Yeah, welcome back. We're just we're reading over the DMs that Classy sent me of the community tabs where he says that FOMO is allowing what's the exact words again? We aren't welcoming to bring those demonic spirits here. And be advised, this channel has strong moral character requirements. God.
Wow.
Have you seen that one before?
I've seen a bunch.
I feel like they all just mold into each other.
Yeah, it's a very interesting take that he has on life in terms of I'm super into anime, but I don't want to see any naked boobies in any of my movies.
So is he that prude against the female form or just nudity in general?
I'm gonna assume it's in general. But yeah, I'm not too sure.
That's actually incredibly interesting because everyone's just running with the fact that he might be closeted. I don't believe that. You know, he's got a wife, kids. Yeah. I don't believe that. And people that are making that joke are kind of just like doing it to meme on him, obviously, like the cucumber in the mouth thing. But it's just pushing an envelope, really.
A little bit, yeah.
What are the other things?
I've made that joke, just to be fair. But...
Well, yeah, everyone's kind of made that joke at this point. I've made that joke off camera, 100%. I'll fucking say it right now. I wanted to ask you one particular thing because everyone's been talking about his right-hand man, Anonymous. I know in the pre-show you were kind of like, I didn't know a lot about him in the beginning or anything like that. Let me ask you this. Do you believe that Anonymous is Quantum?
Not even close.
Thank you, because I've been saying that, and everyone just keeps going off and saying, "Oh, it's got to be him. It sounds just like him."
So, I honestly believe Quantum TV's channel would be so much better if Anonymous ran it instead of him.
Really?
And if Anonymous made videos. Oh yeah. So here's the funny thing about Anonymous, and this, and I know he's listening.
Oh yeah, he is.
He loves to start fights with me. He, like, if you look in the Discord, you'll see like rants. Like, I'm gonna touch on 30 different things that Ninjician got wrong on his video.
Yeah, that's where I called him like the Dexter of YouTube or some shit. I was like 30 points. Holy shit. Like...
Yeah. So I was on a work trip and I made like a 2-hour response video to all of the stuff that Anonymous had posted in the Discord. And that's why he's like, oh, I'm going to touch on this. I'm going to touch on this. And I was like, you know what? This guy's just having too much fun. So I got rid of the video. But here's the difference between Quantum TV and Anonymous. And it's such a slight difference, but it's a huge difference. Anonymous is in love with what Quantum TV does to televisions. I don't know why, but he is. Contrary to that, the guy is like a huge audiophile, has a kick-ass home theater system. We have a lot of the same components in our home theaters. Like, if this guy wasn't such a like crazed anti-vaxxing, like just weirdo that is in love with Quantum's TV settings, I would probably be decent friends with Anonymous because we have so much in common when it comes to home theater. Quantum, on the other hand, doesn't even know how to set up a soundbar, essentially. Like, is still using this piece of crap Sony soundbar from years ago and runs like, if you see those lights in the back of his, setup, the reason he doesn't like HDR is a lot of these like Philips Hues and these Govies and all these different soundbars don't support like HDR pass-through. So he's like, oh, I want to use my rear disco lights when I'm watching TV, so I have to run everything through this and that. They're not the same person because Anonymous has such a better grasp on everything outside of these TV settings that it literally is impossible for them to be the same person. It's literally like Moon Knight, where you've got Steven and Mark. Anonymous is like Steven, and then I guess Quantum could be whatever the crazy one is that just kills people.
Right. That makes sense. It's kind of intriguing that everyone's trying to put them on as the same person, and I'm glad that you're kind of like clearing that up because you've dealt with both of them. And the reason I'm bringing it up and bringing Anonymous up is I wanted to kind of like get something straight. From the video that we put out about the doxing leaks, me and Gara jumped to the conclusion that Anonymous and Quantum did reach out to you, which you cleared up was not the case. It was literally you if you want to take it from there of like why the situation ended up being what it is, because me and Gara, I'll admit that we jumped to that conclusion.
Reached out to me like how?
The email thing.
So first and foremost, neither Quantum or Anonymous has ever emailed me.
Okay.
And my email's on my YouTube, and it has been. So I remember before I uploaded the video that was in regards to answering Anonymous and all of his questions. Because I think what they were trying to do is post a lot of questions in Discord, trying to like get a response from me or something. So what I did on my community tab is I made a post that was like, hey guys, great news. Quantum TV and Anonymous both emailed me sincere apologies and all this other nonsense that I had posted. And they fell for this bait. They're in their Discord going, he has no evidence that we sent an email. Right. We never sent an email to him, especially not one apologizing. We must have been hacked. Or, you know what I mean? And I'm like sitting there going, how dumb do you have to be not to see the dripping sarcasm in that post? Because if you read the rest of it, it literally said something along the lines of like a JK video response coming tomorrow. Like the guys are simpletons.
Yeah.
And it's this conglomerate, as a professional calibrator, as someone that's a true pro, not a middle tier calibrator, as Westside likes to call me, you have a different perspective on the way things should look and the way things should be. As an average consumer, even you guys, I don't know if you've ever seen a display that's been, calibrated. You probably haven't.
Probably haven't. I've usually walked into like Walmart, looked at the display settings and everything like that. But those are completely different settings than when you get them home, because they send you the default.
Exactly. And you see the default in the store and you see the demos and you go, that looks bright and colorful and fantastic. You might even think that looks really good. And it's not your fault because you haven't seen the difference.
Right.
So you can build a group of people that pay you $5 a month for someone to just fuck up your TV monthly to make it look worse than those store demos. So it blows my mind that someone as smart as Anonymous, and I do think he's smart, but someone that smart can kind of fall in line and drink the Kool-Aid along with Quantum in terms of how bad it actually looks.
Yeah, I agree with you on that aspect, because it just doesn't make sense that somebody because he seems intelligent from the interactions that I've had with him. I don't know if you ever saw my Twitter where I basically slapped him up a little bit verbally, but he's a smart guy. Like, he's smart. Not smart in regard to posting a video of Actman saying horrible shit back in the day and then saying he never apologized for it. But
can I just say, like, context? Yeah, like, context. People don't understand context on anything.
Right.
And when you don't understand the context, even from someone that I never heard of, what was his name? Vost? Whatever his name was?
Vosh.
I listened to that full video, and I think he was on with Vegan Gains, who I've had a YouTube channel since like 2012. It used to be a fitness channel, so I know Vegan Gains really well.
Right.
When he was trying to make that false comparison between the morality of different things, and if someone takes something like that out of context, that simply shows to me that you're not intelligent enough to even comment on it. You know what I mean?
Right. Like, how he insinuated that Rich was a pedo for listening to Vosh.
Exactly. But when, Actman makes a video saying that, and he says all those words in the video, and he's making a point with it, saying that if you're getting offended by this, that's part of your own self-beliefs or something like that. It's still a bad take, but he wasn't saying anything malicious in that video. He wasn't calling people derogatory names. He wasn't saying you're a this or you're a that. He was basically saying these are bad words, but you can kind of own those words and control how they make you feel. That was kind of the gist of that video. And yet they just throw it around because it's like, oh, we got the N-word coming out of Actman's mouth with a hard R. And I'm like, yeah, if you saw some of the stuff that I mentioned this on Rich's stream, like, I wish I had my old laptop, because some of the videos he had posted on his Quantum vlog, both him and his wife, were so demeaning and so awful.
Like, if you had to pick one thing out of that sticks in your mind, what would be the thing?
So his wife's Hispanic. He's made that public, right? He's like, oh yeah, I think he's even said, oh, our kids are half breeds, whatever.
Oh my god, that fucking line.
In Florida, and I said this on Rich's stream, there was a New Year's celebration, and he was mad that both him and his wife made a video pissed that they were singing songs in Spanish. And was basically, the take was, this is an American holiday and they need to be singing these songs in, like, English.
What the fuck?
So that take, it's not the most, like, kill all the gays, they deserve it type of take.
Right.
But it's such a simple take on New Year's, which is a holiday for everybody. It's around the world.
Yeah.
Around the world. And he's trying to, like, localize it to his own bubble, being like, I want these in English. And, like, even his anime to him, he had tweets, and I've got these tweets. He had tweets towards the people that localize anime for the US.
Right.
Basically stating that if it's not dubbed, meaning if they haven't done English voiceovers for it, then they can, like, burn in hell. Like, we don't want, we don't want this in the States. I was like, I don't know how to respond to this because like I cannot stand anything dubbed. Like, have you guys ever tried to watch the Netflix show Squid Game?
No, you
when
can't
it's
watch
dubbed
that
in
dubbed.
English?
No, you can't watch it dubbed. Can't do it.
I'm sure Quantum TV would. It's like
Can I ask you, Ninjician, can you please like DM those to me on Discord or Twitter so I can interlace them in here to kind of like build context to that if you still have them?
Yeah, let me see if I can send it. Hold on.
Yeah, you don't have to send them now. We'll have to do it later. We can do it later.
Yeah, okay.
It's just
because I'm like, what'd it take? And I know what I wanted to talk about.
Yeah.
Because there was a point a couple months ago around when Mischief and Actman were making these videos. Do you guys remember when he said his YouTube got hacked?
Yeah.
Okay. He made these big posts showing, oh, my YouTube just got hacked. And you remember all his videos going down and people were like, oh my gosh, he's deleting all his videos or deleting the channel?
Mm-hmm.
So I know what happened.
Okay.
And I don't know if you guys have touched on this or not.
I don't know.
So he has all of those social media links under all of his videos in the description box, all of them, to his Twitter, Facebook. I think he even has TikTok in there at one point.
He does.
Okay. What he did, and I'm sure you guys know this as YouTubers, if you want to make a change on your YouTube videos, generally it's going to, like if you do a mass change, he privated all of his videos so he could change the descriptions in all of them. And the reason I know this is because a lot of his members only videos, when he came back on live, everything he had scrubbed, so he scrubbed like 6 million views worth of videos, which were probably like the hot takes and all the crazy crap he was talking about. Well, the description boxes were all different. And then for a moment, all of his members' videos were up, meaning they were all available to everybody, like they were public videos. So what he did is he took that day to scrub his entire YouTube channel of all of his links and all of his hot take videos, trying to destroy as much evidence as he could, and then claim on YouTube that he was hacked. And that people, I'm almost positive he blamed it on me, saying I was trying to hack his channel to expose all of the members' videos, all of his settings videos.
Oh my God. I do remember something along those lines, and Classy wanted to add something too. He deleted the review, but he had reviewed Forza Horizon 5 and destroyed it for having minorities and prosthetics options in the character creation at the beginning of the game. Didn't talk about anything else of the game. What, are you fucking serious?
Yeah.
I have that video.
If he's got the video, perfect. Because one of his hot takes is like, soldiers and amputee victims, they don't need that PTSD from seeing their character and prosthetics on the select screen. I'm like, bro, no.
There's no way. I didn't think it could get worse with him, but there's moments, bro. I'm sorry. I'm trying to let you talk. I'm just laughing at that. That's amazing.
Oh no, I'm listening. The whole hack tweets thing. That's one thing I really wanted to touch on because I don't know if we touched on this too much when I talked with Rich.
I don't believe a lot of people have really touched on like how it could be, how his take on the situation. Because just for context for me, how I described the tweet hacking thing, he was like, well, everything got hacked. And my computer was hacked, my PlayStation was hacked, my Xbox was hacked. I learned recently that it's all on the hard drive and not really saved on the cloud. But I gave Quantum the benefit of the doubt and said, you know what, you're dealing with all these things, your emails that involve your business, heavy quotations. Yeah, of course you're not going to check Twitter, but in the downtime, wouldn't you want to check if these trolls posted anything malicious? Like that was my point. So you're saying that you know more about that situation.
Oh yeah.
Let's go.
So everybody knows he had Facebook pages that were his community groups before Discord, right? So here was the whole play. The play was, hey, if you guys want technical support or to get a hold of me, here's my Facebook group. Or here's my Twitter. I'm going to use it for tech support for the channel, right? I don't know if Classy remembers this. This was a long time ago. I remember going to his Facebook page, and in the posts or the comments, it was tons and tons and tons of questions and questions and questions that he was not answering at all to any of them.
Right.
So I made a video where I shared screen, went into his Facebook page, and started answering all the technical questions for all of his followers because someone needed to. So I just went through all the comments and was giving him all the tech support.
Holy shit.
And because it was funny. You know, it was entertaining to me and it was good content because I like putting out informative content about TVs, displays, and all this stuff.
Classy just added something to this.
Yeah.
Don't mean to cut you off. He said he kept posting on Twitter after those LGBT posts, never removed them.
That's actually what I'm going to get to.
Okay.
So
okay.
He's had multiple Twitter accounts.
Mm-hmm.
Some that would have his real name, some that had the Quantum Apotheosis one. But I remember the one that was specifically like Quantum TV, the one that the trolls taken over.
Allegedly.
And I remember going back and I saw his post to Neil Druckmann from The Last of Us 2. He was quoting Neil, talking about how they're forcing their gay agenda on him or whatever it was. I still have those screenshots and everything. It can never go away.
Yeah, I that was the first ever tweet I did a reaction on, is like looking at the collage of, it was in Ackman's video, the copyright abuser one. It was the collage of just heinous shit he said. So you're saying you saw that tweet in real time?
Oh yeah, a lot of people saw it in real time. But here's the thing. He talks all this time about, I'm a people's channel and the memberships pay the bills and this and that. He was sponsored by the TV brand Hisense. Mm-hmm. And when I say sponsored, they sent him product for free, which in his members tab, he actually complained because one of the boxes they sent him, he opened up the TV and it was cracked, all the shit, it was completely busted. Mm-hmm. And he's sitting there whining like, those fucking guys at Hisense sending me penny stock and all this other stuff. Well, here's what happened. Before those tweets, well, not before. Before April 2020, he was on Twitter. It was his support channel. Hisense Canada found his YouTube channel because he was reviewing Hisense TVs. Mm-hmm. And they shouted him out on Twitter. And this was in like March, was it April? Sometime in 2020, like early 2020, when I made my Twitter account. Right. And that ties in. And they're like, oh, we just want to take the day to focus on the number one brand in honesty, Quantum TV. Thank you for giving such a blah, blah, blah. This is Hisense, right?
Yeah, it's a major company, right?
So I thought, it'd be really funny is I make a Twitter account with my name. And I think I had like a kitty riding on a unicorn. Mm-hmm. And I tagged Hisense and Quantum on the post he made towards Neil Druckmann and all of the they should have been Pulse victims stuff. Right. And I basically tagged Hisense Canada and Hisense USA and said, this is the guy that you're going to sponsor, right?
Oh, wow. So you killed the sponsorship deal.
No.
No?
No. Hisense deletes the tweet. My tweet.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Obviously, I'm blocked by Hisense.
Right.
Okay? This is 2020. Quantum on that same channel had been taking screenshots from my YouTube community page. Mm-hmm. Quantum made the claim, and this was the second thing. So the first thing was the burn-in on the TV. That pissed me off. Right. Here's the claim he made, and this was why he hates me and why I don't like him. Mm-hmm. He claimed that COVID-19 killed his calibration business. And he stated that he had a retail bay, a store essentially, that he had to sell or shut down. And he had to sell all of his fictitious calibration equipment. Mm-hmm. So he said he shows this huge stack of cash on a bed, and we don't know if it's a fake, we have no idea what it is. But he posts this on Twitter. This is in 2020. This is after I've already linked Hisense to this stuff. Right? He's going back and forth with me on Twitter after I've quote tweeted him on Twitter with all the things that he said, with Hisense, with all this nonsense. He claimed that he had a retail business where people would come to an office to get like calibration quotes, which makes zero sense. Let me tell you how it works in the real world. A calibrator works out of his home. They might have an office. Mm-hmm. Extremely rare. We keep all of our calibration equipment with us. Right. He claimed to have, it's like an $8,000 colorimeter that he magically sold. Because I kept asking him, why don't you show me your calibration equipment? He goes, oh, I have this. I'm like, why don't you show it to me? He goes, oh, it's at the office. So he goes, "Oh yeah, I had to sell everything because COVID-19 killed the calibration business." COVID-19, I know I keep saying that word.
It's all right. You're fine.
Made the business bloom. All of these people with money that can no longer travel spent so much money in home renovations. They were hiring calibrators, home theater installers, all of this stuff. Projectors, every projector needs calibration. So he tried to me too it with the COVID-19 thing, pretending that he was a small business owner.
Oh, God.
And pretending that COVID-19 killed his business. And then, please, guys, you know, sub to the channel, become a member. I had to sell all my calibration gear. You don't need expensive calibration gear. So I kept saying back and forth on Twitter, show us the gear. And he could never show it. So here's my point to that. My point is that he was very active on Twitter, even with me, all through 2020, 2 years before this, and was well aware of those tweets. It was right there in his face. And he knows how to delete stuff.
Yeah.
He didn't delete it because it's real. Because he uploaded videos called The LGBT of Us, where he, like, the hottest takes you've ever seen on Sony. He even talked about how Spider-Man, Miles Morales, they had LGBT flags in the city.
Yeah.
How he hates Sony, saying, oh, they're trying to push this gay agenda on us. Those are his real beliefs. And without going too deep, people have mentioned like family members of his and Facebook posts that they've made that have the same beliefs. It's all in the family.
Right. It's an internal thing that's been passed down from generation to generation about the hate against the LGBTQ community.
So, no, his Twitter was never hacked. If someone's Twitter gets hacked, they're going to go on a spending spree posting crazy shit 24/7 until they get banned.
Right.
Someone doesn't post things on Twitter that align with your beliefs and nothing else and leave it up for 2-4 years and be notified about it.
Right.
So every time he said, oh, I've been hacked, that's a lie.
I wanted to ask you about the hack stuff as well, because the Jesus Christ, the Twitter thing, he's fucked on that one. I wanted to ask because it seems like every time that he gets into a beef with another creator or with you or from what I can tell with Classy, everybody. So an example is like who I bring up is Griffin Gaming. When you know the video in question I'm talking about where he commented on it was a TV, it was a C920, I think, or it was a C7 or something like that. I forgot the name of the TV. He brought it up in the video setting the record straight or whatever the fuck that title was.
For sure.
So he talked about how that community of people that didn't like his take on that, and then people didn't like his take on the Xbox, hacked all of his shit. And that's like his way of kind of like just throwing wind in the air. And then with Griffin Gaming, he said the same thing, that people were hacking my stuff, you know, I'm being attacked, all this crazy shit. That just seems like the pattern of behavior that you kind of described with the Twitter situation. And it's all kind of just melding into one thing now that we have you here. It's just all melding into these connections are really starting to show themselves, especially now. Especially with the Discord, especially with all these things. And
yeah, he's making a victim out of himself, and he's even doing it with YouTube. You saw his recent community post where he's tagging YouTube saying, oh, this person's followers are all coming to attack me. Please, YouTube, please, can you do something? No, Daddy, no. And it's a pattern of behavior that's been going on for years and years. It's attack. It's like, I'm off my meds. I'm going to attack and upload crazy shit videos. And then when people actually put their foot down and respond to me, oh no, I'm being attacked. Please hurt. No, stop. You know, that's how he behaves.
So he's like a small kid at the zoo putting a stick in a bear cage and then expecting the bear not to do anything.
And then suing the zoo for not having a short enough stick.
That is actually the best fucking analogy of Quantum's entire fucking habits. Oh my God. I kind of wanted to ask, because we touched upon it a little bit, with everything coming out, where it's going, how it's kind of escalated to this point, you sitting back and being the guy who first stood up to Quantum TV, how do you feel, at the end of the day, how YouTube's going to respond to him and respond to his kind of debaucherous behavior? Even I know the Act Man and everything like that. We've already touched upon that, but I'm talking about YouTube in general. I know you're not super big into YouTube, but based on your analyses and who this guy is, you confirming that the tweets are real, talking about him not being an actual calibrator, all that stuff. How do you actually feel YouTube's going to do anything moving forward?
I think it's there's actually some really good information that YouTube can take action on.
Okay.
Regardless of let's say he never ban evaded. Let's say he never got, for harassment or bullying or anything.
Right.
The fact that you put in master calibrator on every single video or professional calibrator, and then you charge members a fee for what are called professional settings, I would consider that scam baiting or like misleading in terms of, I know that YouTube is a lot more strict when it comes to membership policies.
Right.
The one thing that I had reached out to Kelly about, and I never got a real answer on, was I know that Rich does a lot of giveaways, and he basically states you do not need to be a member to do, giveaways or to win giveaways. It's like a lottery system. You're not allowed to pay for entry.
Right.
He specifically, and I have screenshots on all of it, has said in his members tab that he does giveaways for members only, and the more active you are on the channel, the greater your chances are.
That's incredibly interesting.
Now, I don't know how enforceable that is with YouTube, but so everybody knows, you can ask anyone on the internet, his settings are terrible.
Right.
However, the people he does bring into this membership section, and I've said this before, it's a cabal of people that are simple-minded, that he's kind of like just building this like COVID conspiracy, or he's building up this, this New World Order conspiracy, or hey, come to my Discord, come to where it's private, because I want to build this like, not a cult, it's not. He wants to build this like little support unit where everyone kind of worships him. Okay, it's a cult. But he figures, okay, a $5 entry fee. Why is everybody ganging up on me for a $5 entry fee? Well, it doesn't matter what the fee is. You're scamming people. I charge people upwards of $750. I had a client pay me just now $1,000 for some of these calibration jobs, right? I get paid because they get the results that they want. If you're telling people, oh, it's okay, it's only $5, I don't agree with that, and the more...
It's like you're a craftsman, right? Think about it like that. You're basically, in a sense, a contractor. You're a carpenter. Like if somebody wanted to like make it as simple as possible, you guys are carpenters. You guys are people that go out, do a service, do a work. If it's professionally done, you pay a professional price. But
Correct.
The $5 aspect is the thing that you're just like, that doesn't make any sense. And to be honest, with you talking about it being the professional calibrator, it doesn't make sense to me either.
Yeah. Well, I mean, so to give you an example, a lot of the settings are they're kind of universal among all the TVs. One thing that has a pattern of doing is turning down the blue channel on these TVs incredibly low, to the point where the images are so overly warm, they just measure terribly. And he figures that's a catch-all. So for him, you're not getting calibration settings. I'm getting settings that look good to my eye. And yet every single video, look it up, he's going to say master calibrator. I'm the best calibrator on YouTube. No, just not even close.
It's not true.
But regardless of the settings, the fact is that a lot of the stuff that's posted in his member section is very controversial. He talks about how, the reason why they're no longer in that storage unit, or the office above a storage unit. He obviously claims to be a professional photographer. Okay. You've seen his YouTube videos. They're shot with a potato phone with weird audio and all this other crazy stuff. But he talks about being a professional calibrator or a photographer. He had mentioned in his Discord and community tabs and things like this that because they absolutely refused to get vaccinated, the company that runs the storage facility basically gave his wife an ultimatum: either get the jab or you're no longer working here.
Right.
So I think a lot of what happened over the last year was pain from them being forced to move, them being more reliant on YouTube, or him relying on getting a different job, or her getting a different job. So one thing I want everyone to realize in the chat is like, a lot of this stuff happened in December because of them going through hardships. So he actually did go through a hardship. I mean, he caused it himself. Both of them did. I'm still under the firm belief that he has never, ever played Elden Ring.
I'm kind of on the same wavelength as you, man.
I can confirm it. I can confirm it. I have a Steam account right now.
Yeah.
Whoa.
He never touched it.
What do you mean he never touched it? His hours of play?
0.00.
So he's the type of guy that will film his TV and he'll use it for saying, "Oh, I got Elden Ring settings for the LGC1." He never uploaded any. So I think the biggest travesty that Actman did when he did his Elden Ring hot takes is he injected Elden Ring footage over his voiceover, and it made you think that the Elden Ring footage was from Quantum when he's never uploaded a second of Elden Ring footage.
Gara Ninjician, you're fucking killing me right now just knowing that. Come on. Can we all just laugh at the fact, and I keep saying this every time, the fact that this all started because of an Elden Ring review, and now you're both telling me, and confirmed by Gara at this point, which I need to look at that Steam thing just to be certain here, that he's never touched the fucking game. That is amazing.
Never.
That is just fucking beautiful.
I mean, listen to his review. He doesn't give any specifics, nothing, as he does with a lot of reviews, but there was no footage of him off. You know, he sits in his, I swear to you, his TVs are in like his bedroom, and he's like got a mattress on the floor, and he's shooting videos of the TVs in there. It's really weird, but he does a lot of stuff off of his Samsung phone, and I don't know how it's picking up his mic audio, being it's so like way over here or something. It's just really strange. But yeah, he's never played it.
As a part of the AV community, how the fuck did you guys even watch his videos with how bad the audio quality was? Like, did anyone bring that up to him at all?
So for me, I mean, this is a hack. I have a Bluetooth headset. I just put it in my right ear. That's it. Like non-stereo. But yeah, if I tried to watch it, like, especially in the car is the worst because it just all goes to that right side and just makes you feel like everything's off.
Right.
I think he tried to say he uploaded a video doing it intentionally. I'm like, no, you didn't.
No, there's too many videos before the Actman situation that he was uploading that way. Classy actually just added something that I kind of want your take on.
Sure.
You have the Discord shots of anonymous screenshotting me and Ninjician on my streams where he's plagiarizing my work to put it on his Discord. So what do you know about the plagiarism aspect that he basically turns around and says, "Oh, this is my work," but he's basically copying off of Classy and you? Here's
what happened, and it got twisted a little bit. Someone had said, it might have even been Rich, who said, "Oh, he's stealing settings from Classy." We could only wish he would steal settings from Classy. Classy puts out a lot of great settings. What he was doing was Keep It Classy Tech, does a lot of great side-by-sides, a lot of calibration videos, and I know you guys aren't interested, but he'll put
I'm
TVs
interested.
He'll get the newest TVs, he'll put them side by side, he'll try to balance the cameras to like give the best impression of how they actually look. What Anonymous and other people will do is they'll take still screenshots from his stream and then show all the numbers, like, oh, here's the numbers he got from the charts on this TV, here's the numbers from the charts he got on this TV, here's all the side by side screenshots. But he doesn't give he doesn't say, oh, these are from Classy's stream.
Well, of course.
They'll just post it in there like, here's this TV side by side. Here's all the numbers on this TV. And everyone's like, oh, thank you. Thanks. And like, where did you get this? And they'll be like, oh, I sourced it. And then like, wait, where? And then like they'll realize that they're being watched and be like, oh yeah, I got it from this guy's stream.
Okay, thank you for clearing that up. Both you and Classy cleared it up too. He never stole or copied settings. He just stole info and measurements. Which
exactly.
What the fuck? If you're proud of what you do, why are you using other people's work to basically turn around and be like, okay, I use these measurements, these numbers, this way of doing things, but you don't believe in those things. And then when you get called out on it, you immediately backtrack and go, you know what? Yeah, I got it from Classy and Ninjician. And then they turn around and say you guys are low tier calibrators, all the shit that they've been writing about the two of you. I just don't understand how they have that ego sense. You know what I mean?
I'm going to make an offer right now, and you guys might find this interesting.
I am interested.
So I really like Anonymous's take on everything except TV settings.
Mm-hmm.
If Anonymous would just come out and rebuke how terrible like quantum TV is and like fall from under this spell,
mm-hmm.
and Anonymous wanted to actually have a YouTube channel, if he actually broke ties, because again, he's a smart dude,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of the stuff he says, he gets it right, which is why I don't understand why he can still back up quantum settings. If he were to come out and actually just completely refute him and just ditch him, I would actually let him have my YouTube channel and rebrand it under Anonymous.
Holy shit.
And he could upload videos and he could have my subscriber base.
Wow. Wow. Dude, that's a generous offer.
That's how slighted he is by this whole situation, is that I am telling him that he is smart enough and good enough to make his own videos and own content that would destroy quantum, and he can have my channel.
Right.
But he's so forlorn, like in love with this dude, that he would be like, not for $1 billion.
I think Rich said it best. He's like, I've had people that I've talked to fans, I talk to them once in a while, but I've never had somebody up my ass as much as Anonymous is to quantum, which is kind of shocking how he kind of goes about handling everything for quantum. It seems like, and this was kind of like my own little Alex Jones conspiracy, is that he basically runs Quantum's channel from the shadows. Like Quantum's the face, Anonymous is the mouth, but Quantum's like final say is still like the last thing. You know what I mean? Like he's kind of like Quantum's content manager in a sense. It's kind of how I've been viewing him, because I have one of those. He constantly is like, hey, make sure you do this right. Hey, these are good ideas. You should take a look at these different editing styles. Like he does those things. And Anonymous just screams content manager or unofficial content manager. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So the other point I want to get to is that there's no talking sense or reason into quantum. A console versus PC, and he had actually named him by his legal name, which made a lot of people think that, oh, maybe he had his legal name as his channel in the past, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where Quantum was going on and on and on about how PC gaming's the worst and this and that. Well, he made videos a couple years back talking about RAM requirements for PC. I don't know if you guys dug those up or not.
I don't know. Gara might have more of that info than I would.
He was showing everything on screen. He was showing his like desktop utility stuff. And I'm not a huge PC guy, but basically when you pull up the actual like running, utilities, you can see memory usage and all of this stuff. He had claimed that to run Mortal Kombat on his PC, and he had like an RTX card, like a 3070 or something. He claimed that he needed 64 gigs of RAM.
For that? For a 3070?
For that game.
For that game. Just for that game in general, for Mortal Kombat X.
Yes. Now, people had explained to him that 8 gigs was fine, maybe even 10 at most. And he started cussing them out. I actually think I have screenshots of this, which I will send you.
Oh, yeah, 100%. Send those over to me. I need to see them. We'll put them in. Just DM me on Discord, and I'll fucking pull them up. That is absolutely hilarious.
Now, here's the best part. Someone, just like AVS, where we tried to help him. The worst thing you can try to do to Quantum is help him. Someone had said, hey, you have malware. They saw it. They're like, hey, there's malware running in the background. Here's the name of it. You need to get rid of it, right? And that's what's sucking up all of your RAM. And he goes, no, I need 64 gigs. I need the RAM. Blah, 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 blah. Let me see if I could really have it here.
That's actually insane. You don't need that much RAM. Gara, do you have like any information on that? Like the fact that he's just this inept when it comes to at least PC mods?
Let's just say this real quickly. He does not know how to function a PC. He is a console fanboy. Okay. Hardcore.
But then he complains that console fanboys are toxic. Ironic.
Projection.
Incredibly
I'm
ironic.
I'm posting the Immiger, however you pronounce it, link in the general chat, just so everyone
Okay,
can
so
see
you're
it.
just gonna post in the general? All right, cool.
Oh yeah.
Cool. So everyone can take a look at this. All right, here we go. QTV rages. I'm just gonna read these out and then fill in where you can. LOL, never unless you do a heavy workloads or video editing. So Freddie is the guy trying to help him out, right?
Mm-hmm.
You will never need past 32 gigs. 16 is the standard. There's a bunch of videos made by J2 Sense and Linus proving this. Can I ask you something before we get into this? What is his beef with Linus? What do you know about that? Like, he really hates Linus Tech Tips.
Linus gets clicks on his video because he put the name in the video.
That's it.
That's it.
That's it. Fucking hell. Yeah. God damn it.
It's just jealousy, man.
It's kind of pathetic. I have 32 gigabyte, 3600 megahertz Corsair RAM, and never reaches the top usage, not even in city skylines, with a lot of things going on. Quantum TV's response to him just saying something pretty normal. Fuck those guys. I'm living proof that they're full of shit. You absolutely can't run into situations where you need more than 16 gigs, 32 gigs of RAM. That's why motherboards go up to 120 gigabits of shaking my head. What the fuck? Okay. But take a look at my high RAM, and he posted some kind of YouTube link there. What makes him think that that's correct? That's a correct response to somebody actually giving him like some form of like help? Because I've offered to like talk to him like man to man and just be nice to him. I feel like I'm gonna get the same result if I decided to actually hear him out. Am I wrong on that? It feels like that's what I'm reading just from this interaction.
I mean, it's I don't know the diagnosis for it, but it's just one of those things where someone that lives in their own world, wants to think that it's the Dunning-Kruger effect, essentially.
Right.
You know a little bit, you think you know it all. And
Jesus.
There's a difference between confidence and false arrogance too. Like,
right.
Especially in my profession, there's so much that I don't know. And I specialize in consumer OLEDs, like for calibration and consumer projectors. There's so much more that I don't know. And yet the guys try to derail me as like pretending I'm like a know-it-all. That's the thing. Oh, he thinks he's such a know-it-all, but I'm better than him. I'm like, wait a minute. So you just said that I'm arrogant, but then you're better than, okay, you win. You're the most arrogant.
Jesus Christ.
It's like, oh.
Have you gone over the PC specs before, by the way, of Mortal Kombat X and what it requires RAM? Like
I think people in the comments were trying to tell him it didn't need anything more than like 10.
Minimum requirements, 3.
Oh, there you go.
Recommended requirements, 8.
Yeah, eight's usually a good number. And I'm not a PC guy.
Yeah, no, everyone kind of understands that 8 gigabits is usually enough. If you're like a hardcore gamer and some shit like that, like ninja level, yeah, 32 or 16 might be what you need to do. But I don't understand why he's saying that he needs anything higher than like what people consider the standard. The ego is literally out of control.
There was a fantastic video, one that I did respond to a long while back. Are you familiar with FreeSync on like Samsung televisions or just monitors in general?
Unfortunately, I do not. So I'm pretty sure the chat's not going to understand it either. So if you want to do a quick synopsis.
So FreeSync, what it does is your PC and the TV can simultaneously display the frame rate. So if your PC's outputting like 80 frames per second, the TV will be running at like 80 hertz, 80 frames per second. And FreeSync is this method where the computer can basically talk to the TV, and there's different levels, like FreeSync Pro, FreeSync Premium Pro, all these different levels to it, right? And it's a hardware thing. And what he had said is that through a software update, somehow one of these TVs downloaded a module, or he actually said it was I'm sorry, I got this backwards. He was stating that this FreeSync thing was a hardware component and that these other TVs can never support FreeSync at this level because they don't have what's called a FreeSync module, right? An actual hardware component.
Right.
And later on, we see all these TVs get these firmware updates like software to have that ability. And it's like, oh, we were downloading it's like downloading RAM at that point. Like, bro,
oh my God.
Like, so it's like, he will die on any hill. Anything he says, he will take it to the grave
Right.
So when he says that he got hacked in 2018,
he'll continue that line
Yeah.
of just bullshit is basically how I'm going to put it. I'm not going to say it in a nice way.
yeah, until the grave. Like
Yeah.
he will never take it back. And I had told him a long while ago, if he had just apologized
Mm-hmm.
and said, "Hey, I was in a really bad place at that time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I am very like, you know, Christian or very religious, and I do have beliefs that, you know, it should be between a man and a woman, and also they're not." Like, if he had made up just a fake apology, deleted the tweets and all this other stuff, he would have been fine.
Right.
But his own arrogance is going to be his downfall.
And that's kind of like just what's happening lately, is just watching this man who is a single-handed, it's the most ego shit I've ever seen from an individual. You know, it gets to the point where I find it comedic at this point. I do. I don't know if you feel the same way at this point, because it's just comedic how bad everything he's doing is. It just doesn't make any sense to me. Why continue to go down this path? Like, what makes you think that this is going to end well for you? Standing your ground on something like this, especially against the tweets that you have said you've seen posted live, the reach out that he does to other creators where he just tells them to fuck off, the situation which we can't prove it was him, but maybe one of the people in his Discord or whatever calling you and your girlfriend at the time and just spam calling. I don't understand how he just dies on the hill. No, that wasn't me. Oh, it's happening to me. These tweets weren't mine, but I was tweeting, and like Classy said, I was tweeting, you know, after those, perfectly fine. It just doesn't make sense how he dies on this hill. I just don't get it.
I mean, like, look, like, I've seen a lot of crazy stuff in my life.
Right.
There's going to be crazy stuff on YouTube.
Right.
You know, like, I live here in San Diego. If you go downtown San Diego and you walk around what's called the Gas Lamp District,
Mm-hmm.
you will have people wandering the streets, yelling at nothing,
Well, yeah.
walking up behind you, trying to scare you. Like, there are legitimate crazy people in the world.
Right.
And sometimes, you know, let's face it, the guy back in the day tried to be a male model.
I did not know that.
Played good. Oh yeah,
I knew the
played
guitar
guitar in
part.
bands.
I can confirm that.
Yep, played guitar in bands. Right.
Right.
Tried to join the Marines. There's a lot of stuff like, and I'm being very honest right now. Don't take this the wrong way, Quantum.
It's all right.
You're a good-looking dude. You're just batshit crazy.
Don't take this the wrong way, like Ninjician's attracted to you.
Also, I want to add too, I've been watching some of those videos where he's like, you know, he's playing the guitar and piano. The man could have been a rock star.
Yeah.
I'm going to be honest. He was damn good.
Yeah, very good. And I don't know if you guys knew this. This is actually kind of funny. So all of the Deadpool videos
Mm-hmm.
where he would show himself on actual video, if you ever go back and watch him, he's not talking with the mask on. He's dubbing his own voice.
Wait, what?
His mouth doesn't move.
So so basically,
Oh, I've got to see this now.
So
see.
let me get this straight. So basically, he would record a capture of himself, like just talking into the camera, right? And then dub over that.
Yeah.
Why? Other than the mask probably causing an issue with the audio capture, but that doesn't make any sense on a technical level.
Oh, it's not the audio thing. It's the fact that when you talk with a mask like that on, your lips and your mouth are gonna like make the mask like distort and look strange.
Right. That's fucking
That's the only reason.
That's absolutely ridiculous. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like Classy just said, not as a joke, but if all of this evidence was put forth in court, they would say he belongs in a padded cell, full stop. God, Classy is just fucking shooting out some takes in the chat right now. I did want to ask you about one thing.
Mm-hmm. Anything.
The stolen Valor. I'm gonna say what it is. It's an allegation of the stolen Valor because I don't know anything. You would know more. The people that know Quantum on his personal life would know more. He apparently, another criticism that's come out through the grapevine is that he was never in the Marines, but he states that he's been in the Marines. Can I ask you, how do you know that he's not in the Marines or never was in the Marines is basically what I want to say.
on his previous channel, he was stating that I'll say one thing about Westside. Westside interacted with him before I did on his old channel a ton.
Right.
Okay? Just to be fair, Westside, I know you're gonna send me like 10 emails after this. Now I never saw this. He had mentioned that he'd shown like duffel bags or like a uniform or something about, hey, I just I was in the Marines or something. He had posted, and I don't know if I have it screenshotted, but he posted on Twitter as well as YouTube some sort of like tin that had like an emblem on it,
right,
stating that, oh, you only get this if you go through like the boot camp training or something of that nature.
Right.
So someone had posted on Westside's channel saying, what do you think of the allegations of stolen valor by Quantum? And Westside's like, what does stolen valor mean? He doesn't even know what it means. It's like, okay, wow. In one of my old videos, I was playing a game, and Quantum TV loves to jump in my chat. I used to never block him. He'd jump in my chat and chat all the time.
Right.
And someone had asked him about the Marines thing and saying, hey, were you a Marine or this or that? And the exact thing, this came out of his mouth, was that it was a separation for the convenience of the government.
Wait, what?
So what that typically is it almost means like a medical discharge. Like you went into training and you either got hurt or you weren't cut out or you had some sort of physical ailment.
Right.
That you didn't even finish the training. Right.
Okay.
So I don't think it's the point where it's like, oh, it's stolen valor, because you don't see him claiming to be a Marine all the time and doing this or that. Like I never see that happen.
Right.
But he did mention it a while in the past, and I'm pretty sure he said it recently too. He claimed a year and a half, maybe 2 years ago, all the time. Oh, I need to take my medication. I need to take my medication because I have nerve damage. He'd always say nerve damage. He's like, oh man, guys, I'm having a really bad day today. I don't think I can make videos. To the point where it's like, how bad is it? Like, what kind of detriments do you have? Like, are you a disability from the actual military? Like what? I never really probed into that.
Right. It's not really like a major point. It's just something that I found curious that people were starting to bring up in like comments. And I know a couple of other creators have brought that up. And Gar brought it up to me at one point, and I'm just like, I need to know more about that before I start running on it.
As far as I know, he either did training, completed training, or didn't complete training. And whatever point in your service where instead of like saying pass or fail, they just say like, pass without credit or something, like no pass, no fail, just, leave kind of thing.
Right.
Like if you ever look up that terminology, it's not a discharge. It's not anything like that. It's basically like, better luck next time, or you're not cut out for it.
Yeah, I was about to say you're not fit to serve at the current moment. Okay.
My father, the reason I take this seriously is like I grew up in San Diego. My father was what's called UDT. Like it's he was born in the 40s. So that was like pre-SEALs, but it's essentially SEALs. So as a kid growing up, swimming, weightlifting, all this crap, like I do take offense a little bit when someone says, oh yeah, I went through boot camp training or things like this. I'm like, and you're lying about it?
I have family members in the military. One of them, I believe she just got promoted to captain. So I take that stuff seriously pretty much the same, where people kind of turn around and say these things and you're like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, did you actually go through the military? Like, you can go to boot camp, that's fine, but to actually say that you've potentially served is a completely different thing. Is kind of like where I'm looking at it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I've never once in my entire life even said, oh, I'm from a military family. You know how people say, oh yeah, we moved around. No, he had me late in life. He was well out of the military. Like, it never affected my life. So I've never said, oh yeah, I'm part of a military family. I just think, oh, it's badass. I've got pictures of him like in full-on frog suits trying to recover like Apollo pods from the moon missions. I'm like, that's pretty freaking cool.
Yeah, that is pretty sick, actually. That's actually pretty cool. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Actually, I have a guy in chat here, Rambo Tweety. Now, he told me that he basically knows Quantum on a personal level. Like
okay.
What was it? Your wife, Rambo, you told me in the DMs that it was your wife that knew him? in high school?
No, it was his wife that knew the mother to Quantum TV.
Okay, wife that knew the mother of Quantum TV. And Rambo has been kind of like putting information out about that. Rambo, what do you know about the military thing? Because I know Ninjician knows a lot, but I feel like you tried telling me something about that, and it's not sticking in my head right now. Because it's something so small, but still at the same time, it's if you're kind of turning around and saying, oh well, I was in the military, or I participated in being in the military, that's not being in the military. You know what I mean? It's kind of crazy that somebody would say something like that and expect people not to kind of look at them a little funky on that end.
And I've kept everything on YouTube. Like, I'm not going out there paying for like Freedom of Information Act or any of that other crap. I know I know some people that have.
Yeah.
And that's again why Westside's like, why don't you want this information? I'm like, because I don't need it.
Mm-hmm. It's not worth it. It's not worth to collect that much information.
Yeah, he's like, oh, you're stalking me. I'm like, bro, I went to the ISF website and just looked up your name, and that was it. You know, I wouldn't consider that calling your mom.
Well, it wouldn't even be that, or even what's the other thing? There was another thing that he stated. You know, well, it's more or less anonymous, where he goes on a booking website for management for the act man, finds his information, fails, and then calls the mom. You know, it's not on that level. It's you just doing your due diligence, being like, who the fuck is this guy that is completely out of his mind? And you didn't say anything about it. You didn't post it on your channel that you called him or that you know his address or anything or any information on him. That's the thing that I kind of sit back and I'm like, what the fuck is going on here?
If you want to know the reality of things, like I had Twitter, YouTube, I had full-on photos of him long before he took the mask off.
Mm-hmm.
You ask him or anyone else, find any screenshot or anything where I ever put out his personal information or the photos. I sat on him.
Yeah, you kept them to your chest. There's no reason for you to go out and do anything, like say anything about it. I wanted to ask you something, and this is something that's going to kind of like potentially piss off the commentary community, but I really don't fucking care. Some of their points, I'm not going to name who. You've probably seen it on Twitter at one point, or Gara, you've seen other commentators kind of like point this out, like some of the big guys. So they're trying to find proof of an actual DMCA claim that Quantum has filed go through, like all the way through to take a video down. Now, I wanted to ask you, because in one of the Discord messages that we saw, based on your troll that you did to Anonymous and Quantum, they stated that, well, Anonymous stated that he, what was it again? He attempted to strike your video for bullying and harassment. So at any point, did any of your videos get hit with privacy complaints or bullying and harassment complaints or anything along those lines?
Nothing that would take the video down.
Okay.
So the complaints, or I'm sorry, not complaints. There were copyrights that he had submitted. And I can talk about two of the copyrights. One I posted on Twitter, which was kind of hilarious. But the one that I wasn't able to find, it's not so much the copyright strike. It was the back and forth in the email chain with YouTube, because you get to see everything.
Right.
And he victimizes himself in the copyright claims. He was stating, you know, this guy is harassing my family. He's going after my mentally disabled brother. Like all this stuff that I had no clue about.
What the
fuck? I guess he doesn't realize that the person that receives the copyright claim sees everything.
You think that was like his first attempt at kind of understanding how the copyright system works, even though he still doesn't understand it?
He still doesn't understand it. So one of his thumbnails had a picture of him with his little outline and his Deadpool, like giving like a thumbs up or something.
Right.
And I remember I was doing a video where it was like an off screen. So I was recording my TV and pausing and making commentary, as people do.
Yeah.
And just responding. And the email I posted on Twitter, it had no information filled out. Like it didn't have his name, no contact info, no way to dispute it. I think that's one of the reasons why you put that information in there, so you can contact the person and be like, hey, how can we resolve this? But two, he claims that he has the copyright on cosplaying Deadpool.
See, that's the thing that, okay, holy fuck. So
my girlfriend's laughing at me.
Oh my God. Are you serious? By the way, if since your girlfriend's in the room, tell her we're putting on the stream. We have her Elden Ring speedrun going, and she's kicking the Elden Beast's ass right now. She's fucking giga chatting this shit. I love it.
Oh, that's the final boss where she like parries the crap out of Radagon.
Yeah, I don't know how the fuck she's doing this. This is some like fucking big brain move shit. Oh my
she's really
god,
good.
that is
I've got more
good.
I got more videos I'll be uploading of her.
Stupid good, dude. But the thing is that it just so this is the parallel that I'm drawing between you and the Act Man's first copyright claim that he got from him.
Sure.
He didn't fill out any information for yours, correct?
Correct. In fact, I have it in front of me. It was September 15th, 2020.
Can you show me that? Do you have the screenshot?
I know it's on my Twitter, but I can send it to you.
Yeah, I would love to pull that up so I can show like context to it. Because the thing that kind of like weirds me out is he thinks that's how the copyright system works, is that he could just file the claim with no information in there, which you can do it, but that doesn't mean that the claim is going to be valid. You're using it in a malicious sense, is kind of like my point on it. And everyone who's been like, well, none of the videos were actually taken down, who cares about that point? Who cares?
Right.
That's kind of like where I'm coming from on it. And your situation and the Ackman situation has many parallels on that end.
Yeah, because it's the same behavior.
It's the same exact situation. And I feel like that, at the end of the day, is something to look at. The fact that he keeps doing these things. With Mischief, I'm pretty sure you talked to Mischief at one point, or you talked to the Ackman too. With them, the big thing that I kind of sat back on that I was kind of confused by, well, not confused by, that Mischief got a threat from a DMCA from Quantum, and he was like, fuck it, I don't want to deal with it again, and then took down the video, which, fair enough, dude. You're a smaller channel, you don't want to fuck around with anyone kind of pulling some bullshit on you, right? But Quantum actually wanted to fill out the information on that one, but with you and for the Ackman, he filled out nothing just to hit your channel because he didn't like what you were saying.
Correct.
And the fact, what was the other thing? It was the Deadpool thing where he thinks he owns the copyright to Deadpool. I saw somebody make a joke about it where they were sitting there going, yeah, you know what? Deadpool's owned by Marvel, which is owned by Disney, right?
Like, yeah, who you'd think he would be kind of like not friendly with.
Right. It's just, which is actually a good point. That's a good point. I didn't even think about that he wouldn't be friendly with Disney after everything.
I think I got all the images in chat, but I want to read his response here real quick.
Do what you will do. This is your floor.
Which is professional, but if you look at the screenshots in there, like there's no information filled out except for like, oh, it wasn't even the video. It was a custom thumbnail that I had transformed and modified. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Just like, you know how like you take his logo and put it into the thumbnail for videos? Mm-hmm. It's like a Suzy Lou where he's like, oh, I copyrighted my face.
Oh, fuck me. This is the next Suzy Lou.
Here's what he says. I've given timestamps of creation, proof of copyright, side-by-side comparisons between the two content pieces, and explained how this duplicate harms my... If you want to know if it's Quam or not, he always capitalizes his pronouns. So capital M harms my original content, along with all the reasons why it violates fair use. This uploader literally runs my YouTube channel videos on his TV, which I did, commented on it. How is this not getting removed? How is the information provided not sufficient? Please be more specific, as I have attached so many screenshots containing the information just asked of me, capital M. I don't know why an uploader like Ninjician is allowed to play videos off my channel for the sole purpose of slander.
Oh God,
which is not slander.
It's not.
As he uses my logos, audio, visuals. I think he meant and visuals.
I would assume.
Please explain why my request is not being approved so that I can understand how YouTube determines these things.
Oh my fucking God.
Now, I wish I had the other copyright takedown requests, because he goes back and forth with YouTube in these things. And I don't even see him until you get the notice.
Right.
And I look through, I'm like, oh wow, you had fun.
Wow, he had a Spurg moment against YouTube.
Yeah. So it's very funny how he'll sit on YouTube's side and be like, oh, YouTube knows what they're doing. I'm in the clear. Well, is YouTube on a pillar, or are they not on a pillar? Because you're arguing with YouTube when it's your video. Yet when it's someone else's, oh, YouTube's never wrong.
Classy actually just put something in here I found fairly interesting. He has gone after people for stealing his thumbnail styles and says he owns the side-by-side comparison, and anyone that does that is stealing from him. So the side-by-side comparison of the two TVs together, and if you put them in the thumbnail, he's claiming that that is his original work.
Yes.
What? Are you fucking serious? I fucking goddamn hell, bro. Oh my god. I wish you had more of these.
You would think as a professional photographer, you'd have a fucking tripod and use a real camera when you're doing these like videos, but he like sits on whatever it is, like a mattress on the floor, and just shaky cam videos of these TVs, and then tells you guys, oh, ignore the footage, it's not representative of what the TV looks like. I'm like, then why are we here? You know, like,
right.
What are we doing here? Classy and guys like Tech with KG and other people that do these side-by-side comparisons will spend $5,000, $7,000 on cameras, like Sony mirrorless cameras, for these reviews. Like, they will buy cameras and take them back if the camera has issues with like capturing the televisions. Like, these are professional YouTubers. This guy is the furthest thing from a professional TV reviewer that I could think of.
And I'm actually looking at his thumbnails right now to see the side-by-sides. These photos look terrible. Like, they're tiny because I can't pull it up without killing the thumbnail, but they don't look good. The photo doesn't look good. And like you said, if he's a professional cameraman, he would have like some kind of tripod. He would at least clean up the lighting and everything like that to make the TV stand out more. But the wall takes up the entire fucking photo.
Yeah. I made a point about this. So he claims to be a professional photographer.
Right.
Okay. It doesn't matter where you live during the whole pandemic situation. If you're a photographer and you claim that, oh, it's wedding season, let's be realistic here. Do you think that anyone that's having a huge family get together where people are flying in from everywhere are not going to require someone like a DJ or a photographer to be vaccinated?
Right. Especially
people
during that time frame.
Oh, yeah. Especially when you're getting up close to get all the personal shots and all this other stuff. So he claims on and on and on that he's this professional photographer and all these other things, but he's also adamant about not getting the jab, which honestly, that's your own decision. That's fine. I'm saying logically, if you're going to be in that profession, it's almost like a requirement to operate properly with business. Well, like even my clients to this day ask me, hey, can you wear a mask? Are you vaccinated? This and that, because you're going into their homes.
Yeah, they don't know you. They don't know anything about you.
Exactly.
Like my day job, we don't require the masks anymore. Like, people can come in and everything. But if somebody comes in and they're wearing the mask, naturally you want to wear it for them because you want them to feel comfortable. It's not it's not like a political thing that they try to make it out to be, like with Anonymous and Quantum, where they're expounding this bullshit. It's literally just a preference. Hey, there's this disease going around. My friend's liver actually failed because, from what they told him, because of it. And it was awful. And I saw him FaceTime me with like a yellow face, and I was like, holy shit, like, what's going on? He goes, I think my liver's failing. I have to go to the hospital. I was like, why the fuck are you FaceTiming me?
Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that.
Nah, dude, he's fine. I love that man to death, but he also is a piece of shit. He drank all my milk every time in college, and there's so much of it. I spent hundreds of dollars on fucking milk because of him. But you're right. Like, if you're going to be in a professional standing, and especially as a professional photographer, you have to abide by what the people want. And if they say, hey, I don't feel comfortable with you being my professional photographer, especially at a wedding where there's going to be a maximum of like 100 to 200 people, you should get the jab. Like, if you're going to do that on a professional level. But it just blows my mind that he just stands that ground. Well, it shouldn't anymore after confirming everything with you, that he just refuses.
They just make it very, very political and big government and new world order type of thing. When, like I've said, he's literally getting all his information from TikTok conspiracies. And he used to be so mad when I used to call him and his members the tinfoil hat crew. They really didn't like being called that because, again, like I said, it's a echo chamber of we're always right and this stuff is always wrong.
Honestly, it's just a lot of dick sucking. That's kind of how I put it. I know that's a very coarse way to say it, and we don't know each other very well. You don't know my sense of humor at all, really. But that's how I view it. It's just a big circle of them just doing that. And they're just like, yeah, you're right. You know what? You're right. You're right. This TV, it's good. You know, the saturation that makes everything look plastic. Yeah, that sounds great. I've looked at his videos with the TV, like when he tries to make it look good on camera, which it's hard. And I personally, for myself, I wouldn't choose any of the settings, not because I don't like them, but because I don't like my TV like that. And it just blows my mind that there's this many people that just continuously do it. He actually has been gaining subscribers throughout this situation, which, to your credit, you are right that making videos about him is just going to continuously make him go up in that. He's just going to continue this bullshit path. And he's gaining subscribers because he's controversial.
Problem is, when you gain subscribers that aren't real subscribers, they're not going to watch the videos you want them to watch, and they're only going to watch your freak out videos. So I learned a long time ago that like having a smaller channel like I do, I actually make decent amounts of money on YouTube, and I actually have decent amounts of like views compared to like my channel being smaller. And I'm
hold on. Oh shit, we disconnected. The bit rate just fucking dropped. Oh no. Hello?
No?
Yeah,
Oh,
sorry.
Did I bounce out?
Nah, what happened was my Wi-Fi, I have Spectrum, and I'm going to tell you all right now, Spectrum Wi-Fi is the shittiest Wi-Fi in human history. I wish I had an Ethernet connection, but it's in my kitchen, the router, and I have to like snake it all the way in here, and my kitten will like eat the wire, so I have no choice. I apologize for cutting you off. What happened? What point were you going on about the situation with that, so we can get back on that?
Oh, the more subscribers you have that don't watch your content, the worse your channel is going to do.
Right.
And get recommended. So honestly, like if people want to subscribe to him and it drowns them out, I don't care. Like I'm leaving the platform anyways, so it's like
it doesn't matter.
That's one problem is like it doesn't matter what he does at this point because it's not like he can hurt my channel.
Yeah, it's not really worth you worrying about it with this new opportunity that you have moving forward, and kind of like even harping on his bullshit anymore. The fact you're even on here to kind of like just clear the air on a lot of things about him, certain memes about him, stories that are a lot more in depth than I expected. Like they were pretty in depth already, but you confirming a lot of it is really good, I think, for the community, because I don't think outside of Rich's stream, I don't think you've had a public appearance where you're at the end of the day saying, you know what, fuck this, I don't care, I'm going to talk about it and clear the record on a lot of shit, which I'm glad that you're doing.
So one thing that I told everybody like months back when all this stuff went down, I was like, oh sweet, now that it's been picked up by guys like ReviewTech and Ackman and all this other stuff, my job's done. I don't have to do this anymore. And a lot of the videos I either unlisted or privatized or even deleted that related to him, he's always saying, oh, he's just doing this for clout. Like if I wanted to, I could have made a video every single day and just got thousands upon thousands of views. It's never been about views, Quantum. It's literally just been like, if you put your name into YouTube right now, you're going to see hundreds upon hundreds upon hundreds of people reacting and looking at videos and just like he's already been exposed all over the internet. Like when you Google him, now he's been fully exposed on YouTube. He doesn't really have much anywhere else to go, really.
That's the thing. He's going to retreat into his echo chamber, and you stating that is right. Like him doing this and everyone reacting to it, it's a good thing that you did this. Like you started a movement of people just being like, this dude is a bad individual. This guy is a problem on the platform, in a sense of like at the AV community level. But then it snowballed into what it is today. And you're the guy that first, in my opinion, exposed Quantum TV, which is just I bow to you, dude. I do.
No. No, I basically just gave my opinion as a calibrator,
right? And
someone that like has a head on his shoulders. That's literally it. I would state, and you'll find this. You'll get messages, but him and Westside Tech went at it for like I don't know how many years, doxing each other, making racist videos about each other, calling each other pedophiles, like all this crazy stuff. Oh yeah.
What the fuck?
They were going at it way before I even knew anything about this.
Really? So they were just they're two peas of a pod is basically what you're
Yeah,
stating.
they deserve each other.
They deserve each other. That's actually amazing.
So all this other stuff that went down, like, it's just nice that as the AV community now, we can basically kind of just let it go and let the gamers and the commentary community just kind of handle this guy.
Right. You're basically
Because we
passing
really,
the buck.
we kind of stopped paying attention to him a while back.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it became more of like an inside joke rather than a topic. It was like, oh, that guy? Yeah, don't listen to that guy. You know, that kind of thing.
Right.
Rather than, oh, he's this and he's that and all this crazy stuff. But I'll probably be hopping off in a bit, but what I wanted to say is that
fine.
just because you can't see it doesn't mean it's not there and it's not something that didn't happen.
Right.
You know, you can sweep all this stuff under the rug. You can make all these different YouTube channels. You can rebrand. You can do this. The fact of the matter is the viewpoints he has, you know, towards the LGBT community, towards politics, towards vaccinations and new world orders, all this crazy stuff that has nothing to do with AV. His AV takes are the absolute worst, but that just falls in line with every other take that he has. So the guy is just the master of bad takes on everything.
Understandable. I wanted to ask you one last thing. Somebody who's a spy in Quantum's Discord for me is in the chat right now. He wanted to ask you about Mr. 4K Upscaler and that situation with that. I don't know if you want to comment on that or if you just want to leave it off at where we're at right now.
Mr. 4K?
Yeah.
I don't have any issues with Mr. 4K at all. Like, there's no beef there. I don't think he's ever even. I don't think he even really knows I exist.
Yeah.
I knew at one point he had actually seen one of my videos, and it's okay. He took some of my settings and kind of put him out of his zone, but I never really got too mad at him. He's a weird dude, Mr. 4K. I think he's only really involved because that whole Wayback Machine and the link that was on Mr. 4K's channel, all this other stuff. I know that there was one moment in the past where Mr. 4K he had said to Quantum, this is before he revealed his face or even put his face on video. He basically said to Quantum, man, why are you a white dude trying to pretend to be black, like part of the hip hop community?
Oh, God.
That kind of blew up in his face.
Yeah, heavily.
Yeah, but outside of that, the guy streams for hours and hours and hours, and it's just like, he does a good Heath Ledger Joker impression, but that's about all I know about the guy.
Okay, cool. I just wanted to clear that up because the spy was asking because just a handful of shit. Like an example is a screen cap from when I think it was Rich's stream where you said Mr. 4K, Quantum, and Westside are all equally toxic. So I think he just wanted to clear that up. Yeah,
they just go back and forth like, oh my gosh. Yeah, like if you rewind like 2 years like before all of this, when there was still like the Quantum Apotheosis channel and everything, because it was still Quantum Apotheosis when I first started. I remember him having that name. Those guys, like that triplet of dudes back when Quantum maybe had like 13,000 subs or something, they were just attacking each other back and forth and back and forth. And it's just, like I said, it's not something I even want to look into.
Right, it's not
but
worth
if
it.
It's literally just bickering about petty things like how people look or how people live. Like people talk about others' incomes and like,
that's
I'm like,
just
dude,
shitty.
None of that matters.
No, that's just all ridiculous bullshit that's just thrown to the wayside. Like, why does that even matter? It's like a schoolyard talk between a bunch of fucking kids.
Exactly. And it's like, the only person that I believe really knows a lot about me that's on this platform is Classy. Keep it Classy Tech.
Yeah, Classy.
I chat with him daily.
Yeah, Classy's been a huge fighter for you. He hit me up in the DMs immediately. He's like, dude, if Ninjician needs me, I'm gonna be there to fill in context, fill in things. He's a friend of mine. He wanted to be on with you, so that me and you and him and Gara could talk, but like he wasn't able to make it, unfortunately.
I would just say, like, since I am going away, like for people that really want good information on tech and TVs and stuff, like he is very thorough. He's very well spoken. He puts out really professional, well done TV content. he is the absolute opposite of what Quantum TV is in terms of like not having hot takes, putting out good content, having it filmed correctly, putting out proper settings for your TV for free. Like he's everything that Quantum should hope to be.
Right.
And like I said, he's a really good friend, both on and offline. So yeah, he's a good guy.
Yeah. How do you want to end this out? What do you want to close on? I know you did a pretty good closing before, but how do you want to end off on everything? Because I know you got to get going.
Just like I said, I keep things fairly private. I'm going to need to, because I'm going to be in a very high profile position in the coming months.
Understood.
But you're going to see, if you like some of that stuff from Elden Ring that Nikki had put out, I'm going to be doing more stuff like that, just like boss kills and video game stuff and just fun stuff in the meantime.
Yeah.
So I'll still be around. I'm just not going to be talking about Quantum or TV calibration or any of this crap anymore. I'm very happy to be rid of it.
Yeah, I was about to say this has to be a massive weight off your shoulders for you and your girlfriend at this point.
Oh yeah, and again, I've got all of that context. I've got police contacts, IC3 reports. If he or anyone else tries anything, he better tell them not to, because it'll all fall back to him.
Yeah, that's fair enough, man. Fair enough. I just really appreciate you coming out today, Ninjician. The fact that you've remained silent after the Ackman thing and now you're here just to kind of like clear the air is just incredible. And I'm really happy that you're in the Discord. If we ever need anything, I would love to continue to keep you in there so that we can exchange notes if things start to get crazy. But realistically, I'm just really happy that you came on today. And I think a lot of people who are going to watch this video, and I know the commentary channels that are going to be watching the streams or the videos, they're going to get hopefully a lot of their answers out of this, which I hope that it'll bring the community together more on the commentator side about Quantum moving forward.
Yeah.
I appreciate it, man.
Cool. Thanks for having me on, man.
Of course, dude. Anytime.